Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. Welcome to Thanksgiving in the United States. This year I had two Thanksgivings. Two Thanksgivings! It's like you're on the old movie when the parents get divorced and the kids go, yay, 2 Christmases! I think that was Talladega Nights. Anyway, because I split my time between Canada and the U.S., I celebrated the October 12th Thanksgiving in Kanukistan, and I'm getting to celebrate the November 23rd. Is that today's date? Today's date is the November 23rd Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and I'm by myself for the day, as I will have my kids tomorrow. So I thought I'd share my day with you. Why? What else are we going to do? What else are we going to do except talk to you guys and see what's going on? We've got Crypto Mike says, yes, you must always get 2 turkey days. Well, it was somewhat of a battle when I first started dating Mrs. Striking. You don't think of, October, you think of getting ready for Halloween. Because growing up in the U.S., as soon as the school would go back, you'd be like in school for September. And then October would start and you're like, it's Halloween season. And so you'd start having a few cocktails and things like that. King Kaching says, am I the only one that danced during the intro? No, I did here too, but I toned it down when I got on the air. But anyway, you start the party season and you start getting ready for Halloween. So you start imbibing, as they say, and then Halloween ends and get into the doldrums of November. But November starts. Gearing up for Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving hits. It's always for you Canadians, American Thanksgiving, you probably know this, but it's the 4th Thursday in November. It's not a specific date. It's a specific day. And so then once Thanksgiving starts, it's only 5 weeks to Christmas. So then the party season starts. And that's when the weight gain starts. But when you start in Canada, October 12th, you add a month to the whole weight gain part of it. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. And one of the issues is that when I moved to Canada, forever there was this, Canadian beer is good beer and American beer stinks. Well, I could put your Bud Light against your Blatz or Canadian. just call it the Canadian stuff for Worst Beer of the Year award. But admittingly, Canada was a little ahead in the microbrew thing, so they did have a couple of good beers. But the U.S. caught up and raced ahead too. Problem is that in Canada, they were earlier to the race of the most IPA, most hoppy, most double IPA, all this kind of stuff. And the hotel I used to stay at had this bar, and the bar had great Wi-Fi. So I would go work all day as a consultant. For this company in Ottawa. I'd go work all day, go to the bar, didn't even have a TV. I'd just sit and work, yak with the bartenders, had great Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. And they had good beers on tap and good cocktails. One day I'm like, man, my belt is not fitting well. What is going on here? Well, it turns out the beer I was drinking, not only was it like 9% booze, so it was like drinking a glass of wine this big, but they were like 700 calories. They're like a Big Mac. And I'd have 3 of them, and my brain would stop working, and then my stomach would be overloaded. And I was having like 2,000 calories an evening just having 3 beers. And so I said, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. Back to the Budweiser and the champagne of beers, Miller High Life. But that was my experience there in Canada. And so when it starts in October in Canada and you have more to drink and eat, it's a longer period of holiday time, and it's not good. I mean, it's good. I mean, trust me, it's good, but it's not good. So yes, Mike, I have 2 turkey days, but I like the American one better because your cholesterol does not go as high. All right, let's get let me make sure everything's going here. LinkedIn is not going. Why is LinkedIn not going? I think I broadcast since I started it and stopped it. I don't think LinkedIn is letting me go again in this short amount of time. You bastards. You bastards. Let me give it one more shot here to see if I can refresh this and see if it's on. I like LinkedIn. I know many of you guys don't care about it, but or have no use for it. But I like it. Because I get the most views there. Believe it or not, all you chumbalones that watch on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, more people watch on LinkedIn, which is very strange. Oh. Hold on one second. Here comes Pedro. Hold on, that was Junior striking. I got to go unlock my front door. Be right back. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Sorry about that. Junior striking's showing up to have a train station out here, and he's picking up his cousin, so he's coming in to hold on for a minute. But anyway, give me 1 second to make sure the LinkedIn is not going. Unfortunately, you LinkedIners will be unlucky today. Well, this has just been an exciting show so far, isn't it? Just so exciting. Let's see if this will get going now. Well, anyway, today's topic, I was going to have a long bantering conversation with Pedro today. But that's not to be. The topic of today's conversation was basically the altcoins. First of all, Bitcoin, but also altcoins pumping. Giving everybody the joy of the holidays of a little extra money in their crypto wallets. Yeah, there's no LinkedIn today. Wah, wah, wah. Right. I'll turn that off before they start getting angry at me. LinkedIn will get the recording. Or nothing. As they say, Spalding, you'll get nothing and like it. And if you know that movie line, then you're in my generation or one below it. Anyway, the altcoins have been pumping here. Everybody knows that. It's not news or anything like that. But as we like to say, it's about goddamn time. They were in the doldrums for so long. They were I don't even know how to describe it. It caused a lot of people to sell, especially if you recall an episode I did on Solana a while ago after the FTX debacle. It was about a year ago I did this episode in which I criticized Solana for not managing their exposure to FTX. And FTX had taken a massive position, and the Solana Foundation had encouraged it. It caused a big pump. And it got a lot of Solana tokens locked up in staking, which are still locked up, or have just coming out but not sold. And it was very good for Solana. However, when FTX tanked, it was not good for Solana. It caused oh good lord, hold on a sec. Son having a difficult time operating the door box outside. Anyway, forgot where I am here. I was criticizing Solana for their exposure to FTX. And it was under the concept that if you're going to invest a lot of money, if you're going to invest $100, no big deal. If you're putting a big amount of money in the altcoins, and one of them is Solana that you picked, we'll say any coin, you have to kind of get a feeling of where they are. And since they had such a massive exposure to FTX, that seemed like a good thing to a lot of people. A lot of people were like, "Hey, this is good. FTX is a big position. They're the new group in the." My other monitor is laying back there. It's dead. Oh no, it's just right here. I got the Striking Junior here. Let me just put it on.
Hey.
Thanks. See, I said it was family time with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Karuba 75 says 76. Sorry, says hello there.
Yes. You tell them about our runs on SafeMoon.
Yes, I periodically talk about yeah, SafeMoon, and how I tell them how we got into crypto and that type of stuff.
How I bugged the shit out of you.
Yeah, anyway, we are on YouTube, so it's a.
It's been 1 minute so far. Has it not?
No, I mean. Anyway, so I was talking about the exposure to FTX, and the Solana is that a frat shirt?
It is.
It's just yes. My son is a Sigma Chi member at St. Louis University.
We're a good chapter.
Yeah, and they're normal down there. They're not Animal House versions like I was when I went to Purdue University. But yeah, he's an aerospace engineering major down there, hoping to build the next generation of planes and spaceships and rockets and anything else that goes boom, or keep it from going boom.
That's the best part is if you fail, it's really entertaining.
He says, Crypto Mike says, "Oh, a smart dude." Yes, he's smart. Well, that remains to be proven. We'll see. But what train does your cousin come in on?
UPN in about 20-ish minutes.
You're early?
Well, I know. But they told me that they were going to be here right when I got here. I didn't want them to wait in the cold, but then they're like, "Oh, we're still in Highland Park." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well."
All right, can you do me a favor and sorry, everybody there. Well, let me hit the social media real quick. Welcome everyone. Like, comment, follow, share. Just do it.
You need a bot for that, man.
Well, this does. It goes to all the different services at once.
There you go.
Yeah, and but now let's give it a.
You're still doing the DYOR, I see. Oh yeah, because you rebranded as that.
I did. I rebranded just as the DYOR Media Network. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to put out a tweet here while answering the Striking Junior questions. Like I said, we don't have Pedro here this morning.
How many viewers we got?
I don't know. I have right now 4
Cool.
on YouTube, and then I have Twitch and Kick going, and Vimeo. But I normally also have LinkedIn going, but LinkedIn didn't work
LinkedIn
today.
does streaming now?
Yeah, it's really good.
I saw they added stories like it's Snapchat now too.
Not stories, but they have creator mode, and if you have creator mode, then you can stream to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot, since this is crypto and financial and business related, I actually get a lot of people there. All right, like I said, everybody, that's the wrong one. Welcome, everyone. Just like, comment, follow, share. Just do it. And, of course, we got all you guys on here watching, just commenting. If you got any questions or want to talk about anything, any particular project or something like that, just let me know. And we'll talk about it. I've got Striking Junior here for a few minutes, and maybe he'll give his expertise on it, his college education expertise.
Hey, I'm the one who called Bitcoin. I'm the one who called everything else.
He did. He's the one. If I famously say that in like 2013 or whenever it was, this youngster here said, "Dad, have you ever heard of this thing about Bitcoin?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I have, but I haven't invested in it. It's too risky. The family has got
I lost $2.
only so much money that we need to, I was running my own business at the time, and I needed to use extra family money for that and all that type of stuff." Yeah, Bitcoin was at like $70 then. He shakes his head. We'd have been stinking rich.
We wouldn't have been stinking rich. We would have been unfathomably rich.
Right. We'd have been doing well. They had about, I'm sure somebody will do the math. They had about $5,000 spare dollars to buy, Bitcoin at $76.
And if you bought $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, man.
Right.
Oh my God.
Would have been a much happier Thanksgiving this year, that's for sure.
And then I still called SafeMoon when it was at like.
Yeah, he called SafeMoon on day 3.
Yeah, on day 3, I saw some like 1,000 level or 1,000 subscriber YouTube channels talking about it. I'm like, well, if these tiny guys are talking about it, they're probably talking about some truth, because they're not going to lie to people, because that's not how they get followers.
Pull that stool up.
And because I kind of took on that gamble, I was just like, hey, let's just put a few $100 into it, and we did, and then we made like $100,000 off of it in a few like weeks. It was crazy. I was sitting in my gap year as an auto mechanic, just staring at my phone all day, just watching the number go up and up and up. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he called. It's safe to say he called those, and he never let me live down the Bitcoin one, as you can tell. Still didn't. But when he called me about SafeMoon, I was like, well, I better get going on this. Yeah. No, can you grab that off the thing? Hey, you know how you guys hear me complain about needing an assistant here, a production. Can you just warm that up for me? Production.
Yeah.
Just put hot water in it. And one magically shows up. Look at this. This is wonderful. But anyway, we'll pivot to, well, I have a few minutes with young Striking here. At St. Louis University, obviously 2 years ago, everyone talked crypto. Does anyone talk crypto anymore?
No, it's in fact, if you talk crypto, you're kind of seen as
crazy.
Crazy, because people don't understand. And after all the recent crashes too, like people who weren't ever believers were just confirmed in their beliefs, like, oh, this is bunk. So, like even my girlfriend, like Sarah's just like, it's stupid. I'm like, all right. I mean, whatever you say. I mean, but she comes from a family of traditional wealth. So,
right. Well, a 2-year bear market will do that to everybody. And in fact, it's easy. One of the easy things to see. I bet you hear from them again about crypto, because the market and what we're talking about today is pumping. The altcoins have gone up from being heavily in the doldrums into 2x, 3x, 4xing. Some of them are just up 10, 20, 50%, which is also very good. But when the bear market starts to end, you see a lot of people coming back. A good example is my friend Sam, who's known as Crypto Lifer. His streams, which during the bear market may be 500 to 600 people, are all of a sudden doing 800-900 people just on the weekends too.
Yeah.
And so he's like, why am I getting so many people? Did I get more awesome in the past few days? and then everyone's like, no, it's a bull run. We're back. And so, as we all know, crypto people are very FOMO-ish.
Oh my God.
And so with the FOMO, effect in full swing right now. The viewers come back, the people come back, and all this type of stuff. Let's give. Hold on, we're just gonna check.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, you are looking at it? Oh, never mind.
See, college has made me more proactive.
Yeah, Mike Lifer has a following. He does. I had Sam on my show a while ago. I guess it was almost 2 years ago now, to talk about what's going on in his life and, going from a very small streamer and very small investor to a larger one, just as his following was building. And since then, his following has boomed like crazy, and mine is not. But he does things differently. He teaches people how to make money, and people make money online with him. And so he has a much better thing. And he, as a day trader and technical analysis guy, he's very good at that. And for a while, I tried to go live after his show ended, but it just didn't work. I couldn't do a live show in the morning at 11:30 or 12:30, depending on my time zone when it ended. And so it just didn't work out. So I get a little bit of different crowd. I get you guys instead of the Crypto Lifer crew. But anyways, on my show, and I said, Sam, what do you, or Crypto Lifer, what do you like? And he's like, you know what? I'm just waiting for this thing called Phantom to pump. And he said, I know it. I can feel it. I'm looking at everything. It's going to go like crazy. And sure enough, about 4 months later, Phantom went 100x.
100?
Yeah, went out.
Holy.
Yeah, and like people put, on Lifer's show, people put like $5,000 in it. Now times that by 100.
Oh.
Yeah, 500 grand. So
why didn't you do that?
Because I didn't have $5,000, right? I know. Sam is a very, we'll call it a driven individual, but he's getting results though. And so whatever, everyone's got their own personalities. They've got that laid back, laughing kind of personality, and Sam's got that driving, promote yourself personality that's different than mine. Everyone has their own. Good for them, but he's got a lot more followers, so it may be good for him. But in that respect, I watched some of Sam's shows and in other videos when he went to conferences. He was in this business for a long time before he really met anyone else in the business, and he started going to Miami, the Miami Bitcoin conference, and started meeting the other people in the business. And in those videos, you could see his on-stream persona is very different than his real persona. His real persona is very humble and all that, but on stream with his "Let's go, baby," and all that type of stuff. The videos he made with
a good online personality.
Yeah, his online personality was whereas mine's pretty much the same.
Turn it on and turn it off.
Yep, you can turn it on and turn it off. Let's check to see what happened to Pedro here. See if he's going to come by and give us a little TA, or if he is not. And he hasn't even read.
You ever spend any time going over BitBoy crypto?
Oh, we've talked about BitBoy and his implosion. But it
came out that like 90% of his calls were awful calls, and that like most of them, like he hasn't actually made that much money like at all, and he's just unleashing just a load of crap onto everyone.
Well, I don't know if you knew, but he just got fired from his own company.
Oh,
his own company pushed him out. Because of all kinds of stuff, but the basis of his problem was a substance abuse problem. He had been to rehab a couple of times, and his company pushed him out, and then he started his own shilling channel again, and it's really bad because he's not dealing with his substance abuse problem well, but his calls were notoriously bad.
Poopy, as one would say.
Right. And unfortunately, most of them you couldn't short them because they weren't calls that were on an exchange, so you couldn't short them. It was kind of like Kramer on CNBC, where people could invest in the opposite of everything that he did and make more money than in his calls.
You should pull up Moist Critical's reviews of him. They're hilarious.
Yeah,
they're so funny.
I have watched Moist Critical's reviews of Kramer. They are pretty good.
Of BitBoy.
Oh, of BitBoy too?
Yeah.
Here, let's see if we can.
It's so funny. I don't know if you're able to stream that while you watch it. I mean, just swear a little if you want to be cognizant of that. But he doesn't go over the top. He might just say like,
hey, can you do me a favor and check Twitch for me?
Yeah.
Seems like the stream stopped.
And everything you got to Should I just check it on?
Yeah, just open a browser and type to it. Not that browser, a new tab. Let's see, where was I?
So you should
Just type in the search bar, type DYOR space media. It should be in the. No, click on my channel.
Oh yeah, you're streaming. Oh.
No, thank you, Vimeo. It's just not going well today at all. LinkedIn failed. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that was a. Maybe it was a Vimeo problem.
You do got one that's about to drop though, no? Oh no, that's your stream. Your old one.
Yeah, it's the one that just crashed. Anyway, so what we were talking about here was the altcoins pumping and giving back to the joy for Thanksgiving. And let's see if this one works. Oh, that cuts him out of the picture. How about this one? Nah, still on the. Bring it back here. Anyway, I was gonna bring up the news, but we'll wait till Striking Junior has to go.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes. Oh, what were some other coins that I was pumping for a while?
Well, Elongate.
Elongate. I almost got a little bit. There were a ton of tiny ones that I got into. There were some really small ones. I can't even remember anymore. They were so small I can't even remember them anymore. I mean, there was like so many different addresses that I look up on PooCoin all the time.
The days. How many people remember the year or two? The year or two that you spent looking at PooCoin like this. As soon as you wake up in the morning, ring.
Yeah,
PooCoin. Walk around the house like this, and whoever you're with, whether it was a spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, parents, kids, whatever, they're like, will you put that damn phone down? All you do is stare at it, and you're like, I'm rich, I'm poor. I'm rich, I'm poor. I'm rich.
Yeah, thank God my boss was a little understanding because we got him into crypto. me and my fellow intern, we got him so into crypto that he gave us like 10 grand to build him a Bitcoin miner, and it worked great while Bitcoin was still high. Yeah, so that we got our boss into it, and it was awesome. And so me and my other intern that we were working at this auto shop, we were just checking our phones the whole time because we had a ton of money in it, and he understood. So he was checking his phone all the time, and he didn't really understand crypto all that much. So we got him into I think we got him into Solano, which was pretty stable for what he wanted, but then it started to go down really quickly. And he was just like, guys, what the hell? Like, what's happening? We're like, I don't know, man. You know, like, sorry. But it was fun.
What was that the spring or fall of, what year was that?
I think it was
2020?
It was when winter was calming down. So it was more like spring
of 21, right?
Yeah, spring of 21. Oh my God. It was a while ago.
Let's see. Mike says, have you looked at Grok? Now, what is the book that came from? Was it Stranger in a Strange Land, or was it The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I can't remember.
What's the volume on that?
You know what? I can't tell yet. I gotta look at it. Usually I'm relying on Pedro to get the charts up here, so I don't have it.
Do you ever
I don't have it.
Do you ever keep your MACD index on the screen?
I don't do any of that stuff. I leave that up to Pedro.
I don't even understand it, but I got some. I learned from Micah's my old roommate's dad, who's a stock exchange or a stockbroker, and the concepts still apply for growth. And all you have to do is watch when it crosses over the volume line negatively, so that you know that you should probably not buy at that time. And then as soon as it turns up and points to about to cross back over the volume line into the positive, that's when you buy. And it worked every time. Every time I would buy and I'd make money.
Why aren't you still making money?
Because I stopped. Because I gave
Because you're out of money.
No, because I gave you all my crypto holdings to manage.
Right. And now they sit very safe and doing nothing. All right, so let me try and bring this chart up here. See if I can pull that off. All right. Let's see. Grok. Oh, looking good. Looking good. It's poised. It depends. It's
poised to take off.
It's poised to take off, but it's a meme coin, correct? I mean, there's no
backing to it. Is there any actual use of it? You know, from the forefront, do people only look at it for the meme, or do they?
No, this is why. Because Elon talked about it.
Oh.
Well, he named. What did Elon do? He named one of his AI things after that phrase, Grok.
That guy holds too much power in the market, man. He can either make you rich or he can destroy your life with one tweet.
Yeah. All right. Let me grab the browser here. Settings. This one. Our TV. So I'm using my new studio, so I'm not quick on this. Okay, this is Grok here. I'm not going to try and draw a chart or anything, or lines, or do the technical analysis stuff here.
You can see the lines, though. You can see the supporting line, which is right here, right there.
Yeah.
And then you can see this line going up that way. And you can see a resistance line going down this way. Wait. Oh,
no, the resistance.
How do weather people do this? It's all backwards. Yeah, that's hard.
No, you just get used to pointing this way so when you think about sitting on one side of the screen.
They probably reverse it too when they look at it.
Yeah, I think everyone has their own thing. So I think, I mean, from a technical perspective issue, Grok seems to be going well. You can't see it on here, but the volume is still holding.
I mean, it looks like it's the way.
But from a fundamental point of view, it's people just sitting around waiting for. I'm guessing that Elon spoke here, like here. Elon says, "Oh, Grok," and then he hasn't spoken in a while, so it does this. But let's find.
How about Rune?
Yeah, let's find Rune.
Like RuneScape?
Where'd that go? One. Oops.
Just trading in GP.
Rune. Oh, there's a couple of them, unfortunately. Probably.
Is it thorium chain?
Oh, this one. Make that big.
All right, she's gonna be here in 5 minutes.
Well, you guys couldn't see the charts because I didn't.
Oh, could they not see it the whole time?
You just did that.
Oh shit! What'd I do?
You shrunk my comments.
Oops. Can you not read that, old man?
All right, how about Rune? So we switched it here so you can see this now. If I'm talking about something, you guys can't see it. You're like, hey, we don't see that. Let me know. And when I have an echo, it's like, echo, echo. Well, it means you're listening. You're multitasking while you listen to me. All right.
All right. I should go.
All right.
It was good being on the stream.
Rune had a good super pump.
Oh my god. All right.
Just in 10 minutes, it had a 4x.
All right.
All right.
See you later. Happy Thanksgiving.
Striking Jr., happy Thanksgiving to you.
So, soon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the famous Striking Jr. His nickname is actually Tortfeasor. For anyone that's been gone to law school, you'll know what the Tortfeasor is. The one that commits torts. We just screwed up my comment system. I have no idea we did it. Mike says later, dude. All right, so Rune. Let's look at Rune. In my humble opinion of this is that it's doing just fine. Although you never like to see this here. I mean, you never like to see this this massive pump and then the massive dump off and then the massive pump again. That tells you the liquidity is something's going on with the liquidity there. I don't know anything about Rune, zero. And so I mean, someone in order to triple, let's see, it went from 28 cents to a high of $1.06 in a single trading period. I don't know what time frame I have. I think I have a day. No, that's a 1 hour chart. And then went right back down. And then went right back down. So that's not a good thing. But over time, their chart's done just fine in the past couple of months. Let's see if their historical time frame. Oh, if you can hear the train, that's the Striking Jr. cousin coming. Yeah, this project has too little liquidity in it, and I can't see the liquidity. I'm just looking at the chart here. And every little trade is making the chart do too much. I mean, this one small trade here, 30 cents to 50 cents. So be careful with that one. Be careful. One of the ones I've been watching, totally off track. It was really good to have Striking Jr. show up for this thing here, but completely off track here of what we were talking about. Now let's look at Cass. And of course, this one's not doing well since I started liking it. As usual, Pete Ducks, where are you? Or Dukes. Dukes, where are you? Well, actually, it's holding on there. I don't. If Pedro were here, he'd be like, these are the support lines, these are the resistance lines, these are this and that, those lines, and this type of stuff. And I get the basics of this. Obviously, I've been doing this a while, so I understand the basics of it. And this is starting. I was afraid when it started coming down. Of course, I started liking it. Is this watching my mouse here? Yeah, right here, not at the top, but right in there when it started moving back up after its all-time high. I was like, oh, well, this one's interesting. That and it's another project similar to it, Terra. We're doing very well. I mean, this one went up 3x'd here in a period of a week or so, 2 weeks. And then it started coming back down. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Bad choice, Striking. And then it started going back up. So we'll say it's holding nicely right now. What was the other one that I like? It was one of those things where you listen to a couple of different people talk about it. Not influencers talk about it, just people talking about it. There's one called Near. Of course, there's a bunch of them. Let's see, we'll do the Near... Of course, just as I started watching it. Big red candle. That trade probably just happened, just as I talked about it. No, it happened at 7 a.m. this morning. Oh, no. No. This is why you don't see me up here trading and doing stuff like this, because I'm the guy that goes to Florida when it rains. And when I get in something, if you hear me saying, "Oh, you got to get in this project, it looks good," it's tanking. In fact, if the SEC ever investigated my show for taking money about influence, they'd be like, "Oh, no, this guy's fine." Although I could be a pump shorter or a short pumper. It's Jim Cramer effect. All right, I had the wrong rune apparently. Squid Grow might be good. Oh yeah, there's another long-term investment. See, this is why I wish there was a registry for names. Like, you can't have, in the stock markets, you can't have the same name as someone else or the same symbol or something like that. And I wish there was a like that here in crypto, but that's the nature of smart contracts. You can name them whatever you want. Mike says, nope, definitely degen. There's a place for degen. We all know it. We all know there is a place for degen. Here, let me see if I can bring this up here. We do a little engagement here. There is always a place for degens. That was a great term. When I first heard that, I was like, degen. I don't even know what that means. And then someone said degenerates. I was like, oh, yes, degenerates. The degens. All right, now where did my chart go? See, this is why I need Pedro. No, now it's back. Anyway, it's Thursday. I'm not going to take the time to talk about... now, where did Camuso CPA go? Ah, that's another thing that the young striking did. He deleted one of my sponsors. Two of my sponsors. What the hell? Anyway, we'll take 5 minutes here to talk about the people that are helping the old show out here. First, as you all know, ALTCOIN here has been helping me out as the show's sponsor, and due to our limited viewership today, let's see where that is right now. Our limited viewers. I'm not going to run the ad for that. I'm just going to talk about ALTCOIN for a minute. Like I say, it's not a token to buy for an investment. It's a product. It's a product that, if you haven't heard about it before, it's a blockchain solution to auditing companies' financial reports that they submit to the SEC or to their just jurisdiction of the EU, the UK, or 60 jurisdictions around the world for 100 different regulatory agencies. ALTCOIN's smart contracts can just go in and audit them. And famously, we did an example on the air where we did Silvergate. Remember that bank that went wrong? We did Silicon Valley Bank. And then we just took a random one from the audience. He said, give us a random one. Of course, someone says, do Tesla. And so we did Tesla. And Tesla was fine. They had a lot of errors on their thing. And these are their filings. They're legal filings. They had addition calculation errors. But the banks are the worst. Silvergate, I mean, we went back and ran their 2021 filings, and they were horrible. They had all sorts of errors on them, and it highlighted exposures to their... I can't remember what the terms were now. The bonds that they had that they were not pricing at market rate. They're pricing them at book value, but then they had gone against them by billions of dollars. And this showed that. But it would have taken fleets of accountants or auditors from the Big Four to go over these numbers for a long time to figure this out, what ALTCOIN did in 5 minutes. And I think it was Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank that we found that their balance sheet didn't balance. The basics of accounting, the balance sheet, and if you use an accounting system correctly, everything always has to balance. I'm a zero certified partner for small business accounting. The way accounting systems work is you can't unbalance them. You almost have to make them. You have to force it to not be balanced, and still it throws errors. Yet theirs were unbalanced. Mike, the system they use is called the Pacioli system. You have to say it with an Italian accent. Pacioli! And the reason for that is the guy that invented the double entry accounting system. His name is Luca Pacioli, and he was a Venetian merchant. And that's when they had a lot of Mediterranean trade, and they're moving from a barter economy to economies based on money and things like that. So they had to have a way of doing accounting, keeping it accurate, and that type of stuff. So he developed the double entry accounting system that we use today. So that's why they named it after him. That's their public system that validates all these reports, but their accounting system they sell to companies to make sure they put out correct reports. It's called Luca. So they have both sides of the system, Luca and Pacioli. So that's what Audit Chain does, and they literally have every... I don't know why I didn't switch the... let's see... auditchain.finance. As I said, they're I'm not pumping a token up here, pumping a project. They do have a token associated with them, but it powers their validating. You got to use it to buy their gas and all that type of stuff. So it's not a investing type thing at all. But like I said, Web3, financial disclosure, decentralized assurance, and assurance infrastructure. That's sponsor number one. I have two sponsors now, ladies and gentlemen. Technically three, but two are real partners. I have my other one, if you've watched this show periodically, Camuso CPA, and I know a couple of you guys are Kanukistanis watching, and I think we've got one of the guys here is European. Doesn't really matter what jurisdiction you're in. The idea that you have to do your crypto accounting and taxes correctly is true wherever you are. But Camuso CPA is run by a gentleman called Patrick Camuso, who I have here on the show a lot to talk about tax and getting ready for the tax year and what to do and all that, and debunking common misconceptions about. I shouldn't say common misconceptions. I would say getting you to think correctly about taxes for crypto. And because in the U.S. and in most jurisdictions, they value crypto as classify crypto as a property. Every time you buy and sell it, it's a taxable transaction. Frankly, I'll never understand why. But now there's people with thousands of transactions a day. You run a bot that does 10,000 transactions in a day. You got to report all 10,000 of those transactions. I don't know what the IRS and the U.S. government's thinking. They got to fix this. It's too much. The overhead burden is too much. But anyway, that's not the point. Patrick came on my show and said, hey, for you guys selling NFT collections, did you know you owe sales tax on those? Yeah, that's right. All those OpenSea projects that were based in any jurisdiction that has local tax. Like if you're in Canada and you sold an NFT, you owe, or an NFT project, you made a whole bunch and people minted them. And whatever you made from them, is you owe VAT on, or not VAT, you owe depending on where you are, HST or GST or PST, whatever province you're in, or both. If you're in the United States, you owe sales tax. I mean, your local jurisdiction is eventually going to figure out that you're a local resident selling all this stuff. In Ontario, you have a $30,000 limit. If you sell $30,000 of stuff, or under $30,000, you don't owe any sales tax. You can collect it from people, but you don't have to pay the government. Actually, I think the rules you shouldn't even be charging them. But if you are if you start selling more than 30,000, and that's right now it's 15 ETH worth of stuff, you have to be charging tax and remitting it to your local government. So Patrick came on and said, no, you guys have to do this. And people are like, we're not doing that. This is crypto. Well, a whole bunch of people got in trouble for that. And they ended up having to pay a lot more in penalties and fines. Then he reminded people, hey, if you go and tap and it, like say your crypto.com card, you tap to buy a coffee and it pulls out of a crypto account and sells crypto, you've just had to pay tax, income tax on that transaction. So the advice to people is to keep, if you have a crypto.com card or a card that pulls from a crypto exchange, make one transaction out of a losing trade to move into cash, and then your card pulls from cash and you have less tax exposure, or just less transactions to monitor. But anyway, so Patrick runs a one-man firm, started a one-man firm, now has a number of employees just working on crypto. Now, you can go to a lot of big firms and all that, and they say, oh, well, we can take care of your crypto stuff. Patrick has reviewed a lot of the taxes that other larger firms that don't have a dedicated crypto practice, and they've gotten it all wrong. So I've had Patrick on my show talking about it, and I thought, let's have a regular, talk about it. So at the end of in the next few weeks, you're going to see Patrick on the show a couple of times saying, getting ready for the end of the year, what to do, and then next year in January, how to prepare to file your taxes. And it's very important. And whether, like I said, whether you're in the U.S. or in Canada, that is important to do. All right. Thank you, Patrick. And he's a partner with the show. And if there's a link, and of course, there's a link in the bottom down here. And if you click it and fill out the form, then you too will help the old striking here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on the air for an hour now. I was going to have a long conversation with Senor Pedro today about stuff, but we're going to get going here. As they say, you can't have fun. Can't have all the fun all the time. We had a nice talk this morning. It was good having Striking Junior show up for the show. He enjoyed it, and of course he enjoyed reminding his dear old pops here that he said get into Bitcoin while you can. And it was that Bitcoin was. Well, let's just humor ourselves. Not this one. This one. Let's just, before we sign off here, let's just see what it was. BTC. Oh, of course, the first BTC you search is a scam. All right, let's see what this was. Of course, that contract started. I hate this stuff. All right, so we're at Mexi. We'll do the weekly. And we'll go back to of course, Mexi only started trading in 2017. Anyway, it was a ridiculously low price. Just ridiculously low price. Ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's it for the Thanksgiving show. Appreciate all of you who came by. Got any last comments? Drop them now. Yes, you poor people on LinkedIn. You lost out today. Anyway, for Pedro Garcia and I, and for everybody else that commented today, appreciate the viewers on YouTube. Appreciate the few I had on Twitch, and we even had one on Kick before that Vimeo failed me. Later, Mike. Enjoy your Thanksgiving in Winnipeg. Enjoy doing nothing today because the world comes to a halt when the U.S. does. I like being a little cocky like that, apparently. But anyway. Oh, look. There's Pedro. Wait, don't tell me he's just coming on now. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. Hey, Space Cat, welcome to the talk. I was just getting ready to sign off, but Pedro said, I'm coming on. I'm coming on. I'm coming. So Pedro's going to come on and talk a little bit about BTC in the market, so you don't have to listen to me talking about that shit. All right, let me get Pedro up here. Should just pop right on here. Should just pop right on the screen when he comes on here. Well, that was a close one. That was a close one. Space Cat says, I just woke up. I worked nights last night. Yes, I do remember that you have an odd schedule. See if Pedro can... Well, thank you for those of you that are watching for sticking by after. I was literally 5 seconds from clicking the DYOR exit trailer. God, I just trimmed my mustache and I got some on my nose, and it's like I'm a cocaine addict. I'm like, all I'm doing is rubbing my nose. But we'll just say pretend we're Pedro while he's coming on here. Well, Bitcoin's at 37,000. Hey, look, that worked. Hey, that worked. That worked. All right, let me grab Pedro here and unmute him so we can talk with him. But when something works like that, man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Buenos dias, senor. Hold on, I gotta make sure your mic is on before I forget about this. Your mic is not on. Buenos dias, senor Pedro. ¿Cómo estás?
Buenos dias. Que está bueno. Hola, everyone. Que bueno. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, dude, you have such a Mexican accent. I started laughing, and I go, well, you know, I am Mexican. And so we always crack because he's, what is he? I think he's Colombian. And then I have another friend at my church, dude. He is, Javier. He is that's what it is, Ecuadorian. And I said, we're all brown here. We just call each other Mexican. It's funny. It's like we've got at my church, it's a small church, and it's about maybe 100 plus people. And about, 20% of it 25% of it is just minorities, and then the majority of them are just older, like just older people. It's a quaint little beautiful church. I love it. And so the younger people were more minorities there, and it's always make fun of them. I'm like, you're not Mexican, you're from somewhere down south. And dude, he's like, go cook a burrito. I was like, you and your white rice, get over here.
Well, that's funny because
So
I famously
yeah.
I famously say in Canada we have the dual language thing
Yeah.
because it's stupid, but in the U.S. we don't. I mean, it's official in Canada. You have to do things in both languages for official events. And here in the U.S., it's like, speak whatever you want. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
And you just, whatever you need to speak to get the job done, you speak. And so
Yeah.
they say, well, what's your second language? I'm like, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, but my second language is restaurant Mexican. It's
Yeah.
that's when I go to a Mexican restaurant, I can throw some sort of terrible accent on what I'm ordering, and I can understand the bar back, and the guys that clean the tables and stuff like that, because and the landscapers, I speak landscape Mexican also.
There you go.
It's terrible. I have a friend in Spain right now. And I said something to him, and he said, "Please don't do that ever again."
Dude, I love it. It's like we've been, with this Miami get taken down. If ever in the future we get huge, they'll probably go back and look at this. They're racist. Look at them. And but the reality is, man, is like I was thinking about like right now. Things are okay. Yeah, the bilingual is annoying. Nobody other than Quebec wants to speak French. I have a friend of mine.
I had the auto curse word asterisk thing go on, and that's the first time I think it was used correctly. Thanks, Mike.
That's hilarious. But it's interesting because it's like in this nation right now, we are, you've heard that term, hard times create hard men, which create good times. Good
Right.
times create weak men, which create hard times. And then hard times create, we see that over and over. And in America, we've seen that, over the last 300-400 years, where it's like you go through hard times, and right now we're coming out of some easy times and kind of going into some hard times. And what kept me away was I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were actually watching Cinderella Man. And that's why I was like, I just got caught up, and I was like, oh shoot, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And so I was looking at that going like, things are about to get really hard here in America, right? It's already starting to get hard with inflation's going up.
Yep.
And if the market overall, like at large, and I'm talking the S&P 500, if we start to see a descent, we very much, from this moment on, and this is the S&P 500, but we very much could see it drop at the next point. If we don't make a higher high here and go up to the highs, I'm a little nervous, in all honesty, because this very much then could push us down to the next level of that 38, 36 area ish. Actually, excuse me. This was the wrong one. This is more like the 34, 35 area. And most likely going to go through that. And the next area after that is really COVID lows, which is basically the 2100 area. And it's pretty much a straight shot. And I was looking at this morning going, ooh, like we need to, I want to see more, because we're going up here. And if you guys look, you see the volume here is going down, right? Like as we're going down, you see the red volume going up. As we're going up, we're seeing the green volume go down, which means that people are pulling out their longs, right? Their people aren't stepping in. And this has a lot to do with Cinderella Man and what potentially we as Americans / a lot of immigrants, and America has had immigrants since its very beginning, right? Like the first settlers or immigrants coming over with the Native Americans, and potentially like if we see this, and this is all honest, like I'm just being honest this here,
No, I mean they're immigrants from Asia, yet we call them Native Americans. Like you're immigrants too,
Yeah.
just like the rest of us.
There we go. There we go. Right. And good point. Actually, a very good point. And thank you. And then I say that because like potentially we very much could be having some hard times here. And I was thinking, man, we have so many immigrants here in America now that it's like, you know what? They know how to work through hard times. And I don't know, man. I sat there and I said, because I was watching the movie and I'm looking at the markets this morning, and I'm sitting there going like, this is not good. Like we're here, and I'll point this out here real quick. You can see here as we're moving up, whenever we were going down, and see right here how we were going down, right? We would go back up, see how the volume was dying off, right? And then when we went down here, see how the
Move your chart over to your left a little bit.
Oh, I apologize.
No, wrong way. I mean,
to
the current, because I can't. Yeah, there, right there, because it was hiding.
well, I'm not talking about the current though. I'm talking about.
Oh, I was sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So as we were dropping, you see a lot of the sell off, and every time we started going up, you see how they're taking off their positions, right? And so we come up to here, and you can see as we were moving up, you can see, especially when we hit the peak, right? And this is important to look at. We're moving up. You can see how there's a acceleration of just immediately people just dropping off, right? As we're moving up, not much coming in. And so this was the peak of December of 2021. And since then, we've been in a downtrend, right? Like if you notice, like drop down, we came back up, but now we're headed back down. And potentially, my hope is that we're going to see it push up. But in all reality, we're not putting in a bunch of volume to support the S&P 500 push up. Now, intrinsically, because there are people who put money into their 401ks, and innately our market is designed to go up. But extra money by itself as it's going up is not, it's not helping, right? Like you can see there aren't a bunch of people pushing money up versus if we look at back in 2008, right? I guess we're coming up into this area. You can see how money was coming into the market as we're pushing up, right? 2008, we're pushing up. And even throughout this whole entire period, we're still seeing the volume come in as it kicks in, as it keeps going up, right? Right here, big amount of volume as we're pushing up. But things started switching out in this area here as we are now starting to push down again. So it's one of those moments that I sit there in history going, is this potentially one of those things that we're going to see a market turnaround here? And there's a lot of people talking about like Great Depression status, like, and you know, like Michael Burr believes that we're headed down to 1700, 1700, 1600 on the S&P 500.
That would be a disaster.
But it would not be unheard of because we never really solved what happened in 2008. We just put a Band-Aid on it. And this is where a lot of people, like not the mainstream people, because they don't preach this, but I'm talking about like real economists, people who sit there and they sit there and say, like we very much could see a market drop where we see a Great Depression. And all that to say is this, is we have a lot of immigrants, people who've come here to America who want to work and they want to grind. And we have a lot of Americans who are just tired and just want to grind. And it'd be cool to see us all, I mean, in a state of just everybody's fighting, that if things just go awry, I think that would actually bring us all together. And just like when Cinderella Man started winning, right? Like something of that nature, whether it be fighting or whether it was just one of those things that I think we very much could see a comeback, a coming together of hard men doing good things again. And who knows? I don't know. I mean, on things here in America, where we have Thanksgiving, and it was just really interesting to sit there and just kind of pontificate potential movements in the market. But I do hope this does continue up. I do hope that we don't see this go down to these levels here again, which is a lot of people are talking about. So.
Well, I gotta say that for it to drop a real lot, that would mean that those large, Fidelity, Vanguard, BlackRock, they would have to lose confidence in the market. And those guys are so plugged in with the U.S. government and our regulators and all this type of stuff. For that to happen, I think before, it wouldn't just have to be market conditions. It would have to be an antagonistic relationship, which I might add exists in crypto. Antagonistic relationship would have to develop so that the companies didn't trust the U.S. government and did a big flight to safety, which would push gold and silver and Bitcoin into stratospheric levels. I mean, imagine if BlackRock said, "All right, we've got to diversify, and let's take one of our $10 trillion and buy it, spread it out between precious metals and top cryptos." Oh my God, it would be gold would be $4,000, $5,000 an ounce instantly. Bitcoin would be 100 and I'll say they put $1 trillion, 500. Well, Bitcoin would 2x immediately.
Absolutely.
Actually, it would more than that because of the FOMO.
Yeah, it would actually. So if that happened, you would have everybody and their mama from all over the world wanting to get into Bitcoin. I mean, it would be. I mean, you already see what's going on with El Salvador, right? Like their economy is starting to do better, a lot better, even in the midst of all this craziness. So it's really interesting to see, and especially now with Argentina and their pro-crypto, pro-capitalist new president, whether you like him or you don't, he's starting to make some changes that potentially could boost their economy, and stop the crippling inflation that's destroyed, the jewel of
South America.
World South America, right? Like it used to be really the jewel of the world back in the late 20s and 10s, even into the late 1800s. They were
and frankly, even before the Pinochet government took over and the military junta and the Pinochet government took over in Argentina, they were doing quite well. I mean, they had a great economy. They had positioned themselves in between as a transit point from Australia and Indochina, Indonesia, and those countries into the Western Hemisphere and into Africa and things like that. And they had done very well with that. And they had precious metals. They have natural resources. They got all kinds of all the good stuff down there.
Extremely developed.
And they were just putting that money in their pocket, like whoop, 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 whoop. And they went from having a proper economy into a theft-oriented government. It was a shame because they blew it and they helped drag down. Chile's done a pretty decent job of insulating themselves from Argentina lately. But Argentina has done a fantastic job of wrecking the ship there. They pulled the plug and sunk their own ship. And their new president, he wants to get rid of their central bank, and that's potentially a good idea, but that's also has its negative problems.
Yeah,
because
where's liquidity going to come from?
Right, because central banks of all the modern countries all work together. Probably what he'll do is because he's one on some of the populist moment. He'll eliminate the central bank, but he'll have a banking oversight agency, which will take its spot at the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland. So they kind of, in order to play on the international market, you have to have a central bank or an organization that is that the other companies, I should say, other countries of the world the Bank of International Settlements trusts to represent you and trusts to settle debts between countries. I don't think not many people understand how the Bank of International Settlements work. In fact, most, including me, I don't really understand it. But I do know a guy that was a representative to the Bank of International Settlements for a country, basically all modern nations need to sit at that table in order to exchange funds, exchange liquidity, and make sure everyone's doing just fine. But Argentina, I'm like, go for it, man. I want to go. I've never been to Argentina. It's one of the places in the world I've never been. I've been to Brazil. I've been other places in South America, but never been to Argentina, and I would love to go. And if they're going to boost it up and get the tourism back on track and make everything great again down there. It is good. They've just had a crappy inflationary cycle.
Real crappy, bro. It's it's like one of the worst there was in all of history. Well, no, I'm saying all of history, but it's not like memoir. Why am I calling it
To this
memoir?
day, and you older people will get this. To this day, whenever I walk somewhere where there's a big balcony, like generally in old school hotels and things like that, and I go to a lot of the old school hotels with Mrs. Striking for her diplomatic events and stuff. And there's a balcony, and I just can't get up there and do the Evita Peron. Don't cry for me, Argentina. If you get that, you're an old guy like me. If you don't, you're like, this man is old and cranky.
Oh, bro, that's good. I'm sorry.
That's and also when I grew up, my mom was into Broadway shows, and so she. I know a lot of Broadway show themes in my head because it's always on in her car. And so if you know anything about Broadway shows and history they merge in this Broadway show called Evita, about Evita Peron in the history of Argentina in the 80s.
I always think about
these little tidbits you learn here on the DYOR Media Network.
well, Madonna's what was it? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Yeah, she played Evita in the movie
Evita,
version of it, right?
Yeah, that's actually really funny because I was sitting there going like, I remember when she played that, and I was like, what is this all about? That's actually what in my own head like made me started looking up like, what's up with Argentina? Why is this even a thing, right? And then so I also had a foster uncle who was a missionary to Argentina back, I remember in the early 90s ish area. I think that's when he was at it. And I remember sitting there just being like, Argentina, why is that such a bad, why is it that it needs air quote missionaries, right? So I always thought to myself, like, I just thought it was just very interesting, very, very interesting. Anyways, everyone, if you could comment, like, share, follow, and just do it, we'd appreciate you. I see that we've actually had a lot of interactions.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
Crypto
had a
Mike.
lot of good people on today. We still do. We have a couple of people watching us now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think our traditional morning guys have dropped off, but we've got some new viewers. And if you're a new viewer out there, give us a like, give us a comment, talk to us. We literally sit here and wait for people to bring up something. And in fact, Pedro, while we're talking about that, I don't know if still watching. We had two requests.
Yes.
One for Rune.
Okay.
And I pulled up Rune on it, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Then the guy said that's the wrong Rune.
All right. Now, which rune are we talking about? So
Mike says, you're not lucky enough to get me to not bug you. Which Rune were you talking about, Mike?
So I can check this out.
I mean, obviously, with the one that's more popular.
Rune. So I just don't know how to spell rune. That's
R-U-N-E, yeah.
Yeah. And are they on market cap? So is it USD? Is this it, guy? Or is this it, Mike?
Maybe, yeah, he may be hard. Oh, well, that seems to be all right.
I think, let me go ahead and pull them up on CoinMarketCap as well.
On Thorchain, King Kaching says. Man, we got some diehards watching today.
Love him, man. We love you guys. What's up, King Kaching? Kaching.
Yeah. Sound of making money. Kaching. Or the old school sale cashier saying no sale.
Thorchain. All right, cool. Boom. Here we go. Let me put some of this stuff together here. I hate the new system that they have.
The charts on CoinMarketCap have never been my thing.
But they used to be better than that. I mean, it used to be better. So let's see if I can play this here as well. Let's see if it's similar. Price is 571 too. 571 3. All right, yeah. So this is about, yeah, this is correct. All right, then I'll throw this on here.
Seems to have done pretty well, like all the other altcoins in the past couple weeks.
Yeah. Wow, this thing's pretty. Okay, let me
The
check
way all
out.
those moving averages are doing, that's
It's real nice. Okay, monthly. Yeah, we're hitting some supply, so we're hitting some resistance here, guys. Again, this is for fun. This is not financial advice. We have that playing right above.
No, yesterday when I pressed that button, that's when we crashed. So we're just gonna repeat
Okay,
it.
let's not. Actually, you know what? So what I'm going to do then we'll do this here real quick.
If you do that on your screen, then it's too small and I can't see it.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's just still there. You know. It's, so, that's
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not financial advice. If you are watching this is for entertainment purposes only. Pedro interprets the charts as he sees them, teaching you how to read the charts, not on how to invest your own money. That is your decision only.
Yes, and I'm going to, and if you don't mind, just I want you to talk about the inflation, like the cycle of inflation, real quick, because I'm going to pull something up here. And then why I think we're seeing certain things. So if you don't mind, like talking about the cycle.
Well, I'll talk
of
about the
inflation.
cycle of inflation. All right, I took Striking Jr. out to get just fast food yesterday. We went to Culver's, and I just got a single hamburger and French fries, and he got a double hamburger and curds and a Coke, and it was $30.
Jeez,
I'm like,
$30.
you know, when you go to a fast food joint, you don't really think how much stuff is. You just know that, you know, lunch is $8 or something like that, or $5 or $8. And it looked on the thing and I was like, wait, you got that right? And the lady goes, she reads it back and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, a sandwich was $7. It's just a beef burger, you know, a butter burger, whatever they call it there, with the double patty or whatever. And then they sold him a soda for like $4. I'm like, get a glass of water. No, you know, it was just ridiculous.
It's at a point where it's the idea of inflation is like the government is saying one thing, but what you experience, like I went to pizza yesterday with the friend of mine that I've worked with, and he, like, a pizza that would normally cost me $20, a simple buy. And I don't really go out to eat much. It's just not my thing. I don't, try to stay really healthy. Why is this doing this? Let's go here real quick. One more time. Do this right here.
Space Cat, and they don't pay them a living wage. In Chicago, the minimum wage is like $20. So, and for part-time jobs, they do pretty well. They do just fine here. I know in central Missouri, they it's not the same.
Yeah, central. Like, there's a lot of places also. So when you go around places, you can see, like, just there also is a major difference in the economy right now. Like, from, let's say, if you lived, let's say, down in Southern California, like place that I want to go live, right? San Diego, right? It's like it's absolutely crazy. And then you have, let's say, some small town in Missouri. The price difference is such a big difference. I mean, up in Connecticut, I think their minimum rate raised by the end of the year, minimum wage. I don't know why I said rage. Is literally going to be $17.50 or something like that. I was sitting there going, 17, like, that's nuts, right? Like, I think that's higher than New York for their minimum wage. Like, do you know the minimum wage in New York by chance?
No, I don't. But it's in New York City. I know the city has boosted it. But my daughter worked when she was 16 years old. Worked as a host at a restaurant down the street here, just the girl at the front desk, and she made $22 an hour plus the share of the tip out. I mean,
In New York at 16.
no, here in Chicago.
Oh wow.
I know. I was like, she was like, why? She got her first check was like $600. She's never had more than $5 in her pocket, and all of a sudden she got a check for $600, and she's like, hey, I like this working stuff, Dad. I'm like, get used to it. It's the rest of your life.
Now that you're working, you got to pay rent.
Exactly.
Like what? You're like, all right, taxman takes a third of it. Wait, I watched it. It was sad. I felt really bad. There was this millennial talking about. She's like, I don't understand. Like all I do is work. I get up at 5:30 to be into the city by 7 o'clock.
I saw that.
Oh, dude,
I saw that video, and then the person commenting was like, hey, that's life, man. Get used to it.
Dude, it broke my heart. Like
I go to work, and I don't have time for friends. And I'm like, friends?
Yeah. Like,
you have friends in school.
Later. Yeah, that comes in later. Like, your friends are your kids, your husband. You're welcome. So it's one of those things that here we are. Okay. So, all right, so I just had to kind of see this overall where we're sitting here for Rune. Okay. This is right here for weekly. All right. And then we don't really have anything that's going to keep us until we come
in
down
Space
here.
Cat, that's 1660 in Ontario dollars. Or Canadian dollars. So that's about what, $11 US? Yeah, the official minimum wage in Chicago is I think $15.50 or 16 US dollars. But in the city of Chicago, it's pretty much standardized right around 20, like 1925, 1930. But the restaurants are all short people, so they pay. My son was working at Jenny's Ice Cream. Striking Junior was on. He was working at Jenny's Ice Cream, which is a very good ice cream paid place. And he was making $23 an hour plus tips. He was clearing $32, $35 an hour for 4 hours a day after school. I mean,
dude, like, that's crazy. Maybe I should start working at an ice cream place.
And he brought home free ice cream.
Nice.
All right.
Dude, I'm a sucker for those Oreo ice cream sandwiches, bro. Oh,
I can eat those all day.
Dude, like, yeah, get diabetes, and I mean they're literally diabetes in a package, man. Like it's so good.
All right, you go over Rune. I'm gonna refill my tea.
All right, cool. So yeah, let me go over Rune here real quick. So, all right, you can see that we're hitting some major supply here. So this is based on a monthly and weekly area here. You can see we have, let me check the daily there too for supply here. Yeah, so that upper supply, the majority of them sellers are up in this level here of that 7.78 to the 7.45 area here. So it's probably going to battle through this until we get up into those higher levels here. The thing that does kind of bother me is that there is no defense against price here. So I always talk about with Bitcoin, right? How Bitcoin needs to have demand wicks and supply wicks to support a level that will keep things higher, right? Like that's what we want to see. Is we want to see the market putting new highs, and we want to see the market move in a way where it says, okay, if we do see it come back down, that there's going to be support. As of right now, I don't really see much support. That's the issue, is that if it does come back down, it's coming back down to these lower levels here of like the 1.5. And the next place that I see real demand coming in, right, is right in these levels here. So this is a little, like you guys had a great run. I mean, literally from, in August where you guys were at 1, what is that? Almost $1, right? Like literally about $1, and you guys rallied all the way to 666 mark here. So this is one of those things that we don't start seeing. You can already see here that we're starting to put in some supply wicks here as we're moving here, hit the area, put supply wick, which is basically sellers. So it's a seller wick. We see here as well demand. We've already hit. We went through the 8-period moving average, and the next level that we really do see even on the weekly is down at these lower levels of at least 3, 3 or 3.6, 3.4 area here would be a place that you would consider looking if you were going to purchase. This is not based off of my analysis, but if your own decision, this would be an area right here. This 337 area is where I would look to get back in. And again, this is all predicated on Bitcoin. Everything's rising and falling on Bitcoin here. This is another area here that I would maybe potentially look to get in at. And then another area is right here. You can see how there's really not much here. So potentially the 145 area is another area that I would look to do. Is what I would if I was going to get in on Rune, this is where I would potentially look. Also, so yeah, these are just some of the areas of Rune that I would check out. My son manages a restaurant that pays a living wage, but no tipping allowed. Oh wow, that's interesting. Only 15 in Manitoba. 15 degrees. Holy moly, Mike. That's crazy. But living wage should be $23.50. Here's the thing. Okay, a minimum wage job is not supposed to be for living wage. I mean, is that my only thought? Am I the only one that is maybe seeing that? Space. I like the concept, like going to the country club. I don't know. I just see. It's not that I'm against it. It's just that I just like I'm a huge proponent on getting people to really I don't know get out, right? Like to find a real career, and not when I don't want to say real career, but a career that is potentially that really contributes a lot to society. Not that service people don't, but like create your own business. I'm a huge proponent for creating your own business, creating your own dream, figuring out a way for you to really push that. And whether that's through art or whether that's through graphic design or whether that is through music, or other features that you find passionate that you want to create into a business. I'm a huge proponent for that. Because that contributes to society, but also creates, as you get big, let's say you want to develop your own side hustle that turns into a business. I have a friend of mine who started his own small little candle because he loved candles, because him and his wife used to always go around and get candles, and she passed away. And so the short of it is that it was just reminded him of her, and because he put passion into it, and it actually developed into a pretty decent sized company. Now, now he's bringing in, I don't know how much, maybe like $200,000-300,000 a year, right? Doing and running this business that was just his passion and his love and his dream, right? So I'm a huge proponent for following your dreams, and while at the same time, working that side hustle, working your business, or excuse me, your day job, right? While you're doing that, you work your side hustle and you build it until it just gets big, right? So I don't know. I'm just a huge proponent of really figuring that out. And I think every man, we understand, and woman, like life's about work. There's nothing sweeter than when you take time off, and when you take that time off, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling that that you sit there and you're like, wow. Yeah. What's up? How you doing? So this is, yeah. So from a standpoint of, I would sit there and say 13 is the next supply on a monthly zone. Potentially, you do have this area right here, that nine to nine, like the $10 area here. This $10 area here, potentially a whole number. We could see another sell off where it comes back down. But if Bitcoin keeps rallying, I don't see any of the other babies, the altcoins slowing down, right? So we'll see. It just all is predicated on what's going on. That's Celsius, though. What's Celsius? Oh, talking about
temperature in Manitoba.
So what is that, like 0? Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
it's
0.
like 0 degrees.
That's what it is
Holy
here in Chicago.
moly.
It's sunny, and it would be 1 degree Celsius here.
Oh, it's just my
Alexa,
knees
what's the
hurt.
temperature? Oh, it's gotten a lot warmer now. It's about 6 degrees Celsius, 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Better. It's sunny. It's beautiful here in Chicago. Since the past week, every day I have like these big windows here next to me here, and I have right next to me I have a green screen over one of them. But the light is really bright in here. Every morning I wake up and I have to redo all the lighting in here. We're being
That's
gray. Gray. Now today it's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't complain. Big old windows, man. That's actually great for your actual mental.
Yeah, I
like
get
the
a
tone in your
southern
body.
sun in here in my apartment, so it's wonderful.
First and for morning, dude. Morning light is like the best light you could get, and seeing the sunset, man, is like that's best. So you could be chilling, and your brain goes, "Oh, the sun is setting. Kick off serotonin. Kick off melanin. Let's get ready for bed and chill." Like seriously.
Yeah, so I get the this time of the year the sun comes this way, and then during the whole day the sun just moves to the apartment over there, and I have a window. I'm on the corner, and so I get the sunset too. And the oddest thing is I have a train station right next to me here, and it's actually above me because I'm on the first floor. The train station is about at the height of the second and a half floor. And when the sun is setting, it's still above the train station. It casts this orange glow into my apartment. And then you're just sitting here. It's like kind of gorgeous. It looks great. And then a train comes, and it blocks it. And all of a sudden, it's shadow light, shadow light, shadow light. And you're like, it's like being behind a
What's going
windmill.
on?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. My first experience, I thought I was having an epileptic seizure.
Dude, that's hilarious. I mean, that's funny though.
All right.
That's
Do you know
awesome.
anything about Grok? This Elon. No, it's not an Elon meme coin. It's whoever started it. I don't know. But Elon started a project called something to do with his AI, Grok AI or something.
Mhm. And there's a coin on it,
Yeah.
but it's not ran by him.
Any
as a
random
coin.
word Elon uses, there's a coin.
He used the word "the" a couple times.
Yeah, Space Cat says, my Alexa just answered you. Alexa, cancel. But here we're expecting a major snowstorm come Sunday. I forget, are you Ontario? I forget, Space Cat, if you're in Ontario.
Grok USD spot, dude. So there's a full-on coin here, and it's like
Oh, sorry about that. I know he's Ontario. You just said that, but I forgot if he was in the populated part of Ontario or the unpopulated part.
holy crap, dude. That's nuts. It went to two. It went from, what is that? It did 100x or 50x.
Yeah,
That is nuts.
that was when Elon mentioned him.
Grok, and it literally, this is crazy, dude. I think we're in a, dude. This is definitely signs of a. I hate to say it,
Apocalypse?
and I know you don't want it. No, not apocalypse. An ICO kind of mania here, like that something would skyrocket like this.
Well, Elon started a new AI project called Grok
Yeah.
AI or something like that, whatever it is. And immediately someone launched a token. Let me rephrase that. Immediately 100 tokens were launched called Grok. One of them caught fire. And and it started growing right away. And then Elon mentioned it again, and obviously it had very low liquidity. It didn't need a lot of
nothing, bro.
a lot of investment in order for it to moon.
Dude, this is brilliant. Only crypto, bro. Only crypto. This is life-changing money. Somebody puts in $100 and they walk away with 10,000. Like,
if they sold at the high, which very few people did there, but still it's up a lot since its launch.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that what it was doing, though. You could see here, like, the volume was dying down as it's moving up. So somebody's removing liquidity, or at least trying.
I wasn't Space Cat. That wasn't anyone you knew driving their Bentley across the Rainbow Bridge yesterday, was it?
What happened?
Oh, this yesterday there was a car accident at the Rainbow Bridge between Canada and the U.S. Immediately, and there was an explosion from the car accident. So immediately, the news is like, terrorist attack at the border. They're coming from Canada in the U.S. Oh, it's awful. Canadians are so evil. And then the the governor of New York's on there. Well, it's a terrorist attack. And we've responded. Code 1, Code 3, this kind of stuff. And then they're on there like, really? Well, it turns out it wasn't a terrorist attack. And it turns out there's a car exploded, but we're looking into this attack. They kept calling it an attack. Yesterday, if you don't know, Kiss is traveling. The band Kiss is doing its final tour again, sixth final tour. And they were going to be playing in, I think in Buffalo or something like that. And so a gentleman and his wife came from Canada over to the border. I don't remember the details of it. Anyway, the concert got canceled because the guys from Kiss are sick. They got COVID or something. And so instead, this couple, who was a wealthy couple driving a Bentley, went to the casinos and got effing hammered. All hammered drunk. And then they drove. Then they drove home. And when they drove home, they were driving to the border. In the border, I don't know which way they're going, Canada to U.S. or U.S. to Canada. I can't remember the details. But anyway, they didn't stop for the border. In fact, the highway at the bridge that they're on, the highway kind of leads you to be driving fast, and they put rumble strips down to stop and all that stuff and slow down. They never stopped. They just kept going 70 miles an hour, but hit one of those bollards before it. Like, think of a toll booth. You know, the things before it, there's concrete.
Yeah.
And it was about 50 feet before it. This customs lanes start really early, and the car hit it, and it just went airborne. There's a video. Just go to CNN.
Oh, I saw it. I didn't. Oh, yes.
And it goes airborne, and then it hits the ground, and it's like, you're like, whoa! It's flying. It's like, this is awesome. Unfortunately, when it landed, it also kind of landed on a building. These things have heaters and all. So the car's fuel tank exploded because it ruptured. And then, of course, it landed on something else that was providing fuel. So it was a massive explosion, and the car's in a million pieces. Unfortunately, the couple both died. Yes, Crypto Mike, that was the white car. So it was just drunk people who didn't go to the Kiss concert. But my God, the whole U.S. government sprung into action. They closed the other border crossings. The flights were the FAA put a flight notice out that said flights may have to be grounded again, and like flights stopped leaving London and Europe, like just to hold let's just wait till we see what's going on here. It's a total overreaction. This couple got drunk and crashed their car, and it probably cost us U.S. taxpayers, I bet, $1 billion in operational costs for the government to spin up the whole anti-terrorism response.
Dude.
They were supposed to play in Toronto. That makes sense then. They went to that's right. I do remember they were being in Toronto. Right. And unfortunately the guys got sick, and so the couple went out and just got all hammered drunk with big golden wings and everything, and then crashed their car. It's not a terrorist attack. And there's even still, the news is like this potential attack. They're still looking into it. It literally is the drunk couple who unfortunately lost their life in a car accident. And the CNN's like, the reporters out there, well, in this attack at the border, they're not sure what caused it. They're like, it's a drunk couple that didn't go to the Kiss concert. Come on, guys, let's get this right.
Dude, that is still epic. I mean, it's sad that they lost their life, but that actually shows you where the state of America is and the state of the world and how intense it is. Like, if they clamp down the borders that hard, that in itself, I believe he was American. Um, what was it? He was American. Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, Space Cat. There's the casino. The big casino is on the Canadian side of the border, right? If I remember correctly now. The Canadian. I don't know if you've ever been to Niagara Falls, but the Canadian side of the border at Niagara Falls is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's wine country. It's beautiful houses. It's fantastic. You cross the border into the U.S. and it's old Buffalo that manufacturing left long ago, and it's awful. Even the U.S. side of the Niagara Falls is like, it's just like this lookout area, which you think people are just going to jump off and commit suicide. But the Canadian side's gorgeous. The whole riverfront is redone. There's a casino and shops and all this kind of stuff. It's fantastic. The U.S. side looks like, remember Love Canal, the toxic waste dump that's the U.S. side of the Niagara Falls.
Really?
Yes.
I've never been in Niagara Falls. So.
Yeah, just across the border in Canada, it's wine country. It's beautiful. It's fun. You go rent bikes and you go on a wine tour. Everything. You're like, oh, life is so good. You go across the side of the border in the U.S. and it's toxic waste dumping.
Like, yeah, straight up like
I was
war
like,
zone.
I was like, wait a minute. I grew up like everything in the U.S. is great, and then I go to Canada. And I see the side of me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This isn't right. This isn't America. This is the machine. The Matrix is gone wrong.
No, it's what we call. I'm gonna say it. But yeah, I would say that if, like, it almost reminds me of when you had communist Russia, Germany side, right, in Berlin. And then you have the other side, right, where it's like, you just simple. If you look at from an aerial perspective, if you took a drone above it, you would see completely just dingy gray buildings. And then you look on the other side of Berlin before the wall came down, right, and it was just absolutely. It was rest in peace. Yes, rest in peace. Pour one for the homies. Drunk Americans, man. Yeah.
Like if you could sing the David Bowie song "Young Americans," but instead "Drunk Americans." Oh yeah, drunk Americans.
Got it. So it's just interesting. We're seeing the U.S. American dollar actually starting to see a good sell-off here. So this was actually This is gonna. I was afraid that we were going to see another huge rally within the American dollar.
When was that its high there at 114? What time period was that?
This was September of 22, so about a year or a little over a year ago, and we saw the sell-off where it came down to the 100. But when it was at these levels, I mean, we saw third world countries, hemorrhaging to the point where they weren't able, they were having a hard time feeding their populace, and they couldn't, their currency alone couldn't even remotely buy enough to just feed the rich. So it was something that was really very interesting.
Too bad they didn't have Bitcoin back then.
If they had Bitcoin, it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see, and it's interesting to see El Salvador. El Salvador. They keep going through and they keep purchasing Bitcoin, right? They keep slowly.
They're doing it right. Again, for my Canadian friends here. Interesting stories in Canadian politics. Unfortunately, the knuckleheads made a political, because one party was fairly crypto, pro crypto, and the other party wasn't not pro or negative crypto. It was just, let's beat up the other party. So one party, I'm not going to go through names and all that so that I don't politicize this talk, but one party said, hey, crypto's a good thing. When Bitcoin was at like 60,000, crypto's good. And he was talking. Gentleman was talking in general about crypto industry, blockchain, everything. All of this innovation is a good thing. And of course, after 60,000 US dollars, Bitcoin tanked. And so the other political party pounced on him. Absolutely, they got up there and they were so just disingenuous. They were disingenuous a-holes. They were out there saying,
Shocking.
"Oh, if you listen to that guy, and your grandma invested all her money in Bitcoin, she would be broken on the street right now." It went from 60 to 30,000, so it wasn't like the grandma was going to be broke. But also, nobody's grandma bought Bitcoin, but nobody that uses retirement money puts it in crypto. So it was a very disingenuous argument. So they politicized the argument, and then now the tide is turning. The tide is turning, and all of a sudden everyone's making a ton of money. And so the people that were criticizing are now like, zip. Every once in a while in the House of Commons during question period, they call it, one guy will just get all riled up. They call this nickname is Bubbles. They'll get all riled up, and he'll say, "Oh, but you would have made all the grandmas go broke." And it's really funny, but it's turning around now as the price goes up, and so people are benefiting, like El Salvador. The politicians that previously spoke about it are benefiting. But you know who's also benefiting is I speak to a lot of people as a result of the exposure of this show. And also in Canada, they kept harping on them saying, this is not a store of value. This is not a hedge against inflation. This is just gambling. This is what they're saying. You like gambling for old people. And but then I talked to someone in Turkey, in Turkey for a while was having 70% inflation. And then they had a run on their currency too. And this gentleman said, "Hey, I saw this coming, and every time I get paid, I convert it immediately into crypto." And his family survived the inflation run, didn't lose 70 to 90% of their wealth, because he just made one decision to put it into Bitcoin. He said, "Actually, I put it into Bitcoin and a bunch into stable coins based on the US dollar." And he said, "I was able to not only preserve my wealth, but get more wealthy because of it locally, as pertained to the local economy, not worldwide." So it's been for every detractor, it's been there's an example of it doing great things.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I mean, who would have saw it coming? I mean, how do you see something like Bitcoin coming, right? It's like, how do you see how do you see a company like Uber coming, or Netflix, right? Like just flips the whole entire paradigm in half and inverts it. And it's literally what it did, right? Just literally inverted the entire monetary system. I don't think Satoshi Nakamoto sat there and and really saw that. I think he said, this would be a good place to be able to set things up and give another view. But I don't feel like he saw it coming. But what it's turned into is literally a way for people that, and this is, the Fed doesn't like him. And we saw it with, not Yellen, Yellen yesterday, or 3 days ago, where she literally said, like, if you do not come into the Fed system, we're going to use everything we can to destroy you, right? Like, literally. And I sat there and I was just like, that's so interesting. She didn't say destroy you. We will come after you with every tool we have, is what she said. But it's almost like that, like boding of that view. Just we're going to come after you. We're just going to come after you. But with that said, like, I'm looking at treasuries here, right? And looking at treasuries, it's kind of crazy here. What we're actually seeing from the 1 month, like, so what this is like big banks, and you can actually buy these too. You go in, I say this because right now you are getting on a monthly basis. So if I put in, let's say $100 into this investment here, okay, this investment is giving me currently, over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5%, starting at 4.5, and then it climbed up in the next month to 5.1, and then this one was above 5%, and these have all been above 5%. Literally compounded. So if I put in, let's say in the beginning of the month, it pays me $5, and then I put another 105, and it pays me, $5 and what is it? 5 cents, right? $5.05, or no, 10. Yeah, it paid me another $5.05. So then I put in, 110 5, right? It would actually be more like 110.7. But either way, like this literally compounds every month right now. Not APR, APM. Oh wait, excuse me. MPR. So this is your monthly percentage rate that you're receiving on this investment over the past. And I've been following this because this is another indication again of a really bad situation that we saw in the Great Depression, we saw in the Great Recession, and so it's just really interesting to sit there and see, are we going is this, are we going to see some bad times come? Like is this next? Right? Like this is 2007, right? Like this is the 3-month, right? Again, this is 2006, 2007, and look, shocking, 2008. So at these levels, we could potentially see some pretty stuff. And so when you look at, let's say now, right? So these are months where you put your money in and you hold it for 6 months. Typically, the longer you leave your money in something, okay, the higher the interest rate is. Okay, and you can see here that it's done a descending area here, descending. I don't know why I said that, because it's going down. But it's really interesting to see that the interest rate here on your 30-year bond.
Space Cat, same for me.
Worst decision ever made was way back when Bitcoin first started. A buddy of mine told me to get in, and I told him he was crazy. Yep, absolutely. I was 29 years old. I was at a wedding of my buddies, and the guy's a computer guy. He started up his own computer business, and he said, y'all should probably buy some Bitcoin. I think it's going to be big. And I was like, but it's funny money. And he goes, it's the way I read the white, and I didn't even know what a white paper was. He goes, I read the white paper, and it's pretty sound logic. And he goes, I put in a few $1,000s, and I actually have a little mining thing. And I was like, what's mining? And he goes, oh, it's where you can like mine like gold, but you mine it through a computer system. And at that time, it was next to nothing to mine. And he said, I'll show you how to do it. And I was like, I'm good, thank you.
Right, you could do it on your laptop.
Yeah, you literally could. Just, what do you say? I mean, but who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, who knew? But right here, you can see that this is just unique times like that we're living in. Like where you can put your money over a 30-year period. Will give you over a year. This is going to give you 5%, right? If you were to lock your money in, or over a 30-year period, it will give you 4.5% annually every year. Or you could put your money in for a month and get 5%. And this is just crazy. This is inverse. This is just crazy money that's actually happened. And people are becoming multi-millionaires who have, people who already have millions, but they're going through and they're making a ton of cash here off of the 1 month yield, 2 month yield. So I don't know. It's just been really interesting to see what's actually going on. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So let's check out Bitcoin in all of this.
Although one of the guys mentioned, do you know anything about StreamX or SteamX? SteamX. You know about SteamX? They'll be migrating from token to a coin. Canadian project.
SteamX.
Give us a hint, King, about its chain or something like that.
Let me see let me pull up CoinMarketCap. Here we are, SteamX. It's an exchange. And what is...
Nice tweet. Team are very slow. 3 years now. CEO got 2 kids in 3 years. Still hasn't delivered their central exchange platform yet, or even a DEX migration. Well, I'm gonna tell you, anything good takes a while. That's for sure.
Honestly.
It's a snail picture. I thought that was an ad. It's good.
Teams are very slow. 3 years now. See, oh, there you are. I see it. That's
Well, I think the problem with them is they don't have enough money because, as you can see, over the long period of time, they did the big pump and then they sold off, and they've probably sold off and used that money personally, as the devs do in these things. A little mini pump there on some good news about something, then it sold off. I don't know anything about this. I'm just looking at this chart here.
Yeah, I can't even. This has been around so long that it's literally I can't even get a. Let me try this here. Yeah,
I don't think the chart will help you at all in this one. I think this is just the intent of the devs if they can to pull it off. But if they move to a, I mean, what's the reason for their existence? I mean, they're using Steam, which I'm guessing they're gamers and stole the name Steam, but it's a different industry, so they can do that.
Yeah, I can't even pull up. They're not even on. But I mean, we've had this uptick here because of Bitcoin since December of last year. So let's see how they correlate to that. November. Let's do all. All right, so I mean, they've had some pretty good movement up. So it is somewhat. I mean, it's not really fully following Bitcoin.
With eliminating the big pump on the end of the chart there, how's their volume been since it's been at its lows? Is the volume increasing in the past, like in that time period? Yeah.
So on a.
The volume still looks terrible.
16. So this is weekly. So this is a weekly. Yeah. So you have 46,000 in volume. 49, 20, 26. For a small cap, this isn't bad.
Yeah, they're still getting. I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Even $20,000 a day for a small.
No, this is monthly.
Oh, that's monthly.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, excuse me. I know this is weekly. I'm sorry. This is weekly.
Weekly? That's still good.
I mean, 10,000 a day, man, is not bad for volume. I mean,
so
that would have been about 5,000.
$40,000, $50,000.
Yeah, they've got
20, even at 20,000. That's still still $5,000 a day. $4,000
at their lows here. They were doing 10,000, which is about 1,000, 1,500,
right.
200.
Unless they've got a market maker running. If they've got a market maker running, then it's just wash sales. But if they actually have that many people buying and selling it, then just any bit of good news and that thing will pump like crazy. I mean, if there's any sort of trading activity in these small coins or tokens, and they get good news, it 2x's like instantly.
Yeah, like an hour, like literally.
Right.
I mean, within a day, you've got.
What's their liquidity ratio to market cap? Can you tell from? I don't think you can tell on Coin Market Cap.
Circulating supply here, 0 total supply. Are you good at doing the calculation?
I can't see that on your screen. I've relied on PooCoin for that stuff for so long because there's no better website for just seeing the liquidity than PooCoin. Even Dex Tools is pretty good on it, but every once in a while you click the wrong button on Dex Tools and that window goes away and you have no idea how to get it back.
PooCoin.app, is that how it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't used PooCoin in a minute.
I know. I haven't, except to go when I can't figure out someone's liquidity easily, I'll go to PooCoin and then it tells you right away.
There you are. This is today, yeah. This is where we sit. I want to make sure it's them. Yeah, it's them. Where are we at? Market cap is sitting about 5 million. Wow, 5 million, and you have that amount of volume? Impressive. Impressive. On a daily basis,
What's
amount of volume.
what's the liquidity say? We can't see that on the. We've got your screen cropped a little bit there.
Oh, shoot. Let me go ahead and pull this over then here real quick.
Yeah, they're a little light on LP, under 10%, but not too bad. I mean, that's par for the course. I mean, I like to see 20% protect against whale selling, but that's all right. I mean, you see plenty of these projects where they have 1 and 2%, and you're like, oh, this is a disaster waiting to happen.
I'm looking at this right now. SteamX. I have a lot of hope for Max Chain run by a really good, solid team and have a lot of ideas coming forward. Very promising. Max X. Let's check out Max X. So from here, like looking at this, the fact is that I'm looking at this, even on their descent, like they had good volume coming in on a daily basis. I mean, look at that, 2,000, 6,000. You know, and I believe this is in denomination of BNB, correct? So it's like, or is this in denomination of Steam when they're purchasing it? No, they're purchasing it through BNB. So 4,000, you know, it's not bad. 16,000 BNB. Oh,
right up here, you switch between USD and BNB for the pricing on the chart.
Okay.
So you can tell now it's in BNB as really. Now you're taking the US dollar fluctuation out.
Yeah.
So it's just in BNB in absolute terms. So this does show the decline in price in BNB because BNB mooned. It just went up to 270, and then when CZ had to say a few things and give up a few $1 billion, it down because the price of BNB dropped. I don't know, what's it down to 220 now or something?
Yeah, it's actually a good thing to look at. Let me pull that up here real quick. BNB.
Space Cats. I watched that. Obviously, I watched that Max Chain startup when they were involved with the guys at Novation, and then first when they were on Prince of Memes, when they almost launched their project with one of the biggest scammers on all of crypto land, Roger, whatever his name is. Almost at just the right moment, they found the right group of guys that pulled them back and said, "Whoa, wait a minute! Have you seen all these other projects that he was involved in?" And they're like, "Oh, there's lots of scams going on." So they pulled back, hooked up with Novation and crew just to launch their token. Then they separated from them and went on their way to make Max Chain. I don't have this exactly right. And had their what was it called, a power coin? That was their token or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I can't remember. But thankfully they separated themselves out before the whole Novation and VFX thing went down a couple of weeks ago.
It's honest, not that bad, man. I'm looking at this going like in comparative to a lot of other micro coins sitting at 5 million, man.
You're on StreamX. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like this is not bad at all, dude. Like at all. Like it's actually really impressive.
And we've seen just today there's been some good news, I guess.
Yeah, I mean just literally today. It's interesting. Is that why
that was Space Cat buying, right? Got his paycheck and put it all in.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? You at 31,000 you would need? That's a lot of volume coming in just one day on Thanksgiving. I mean, who's sitting there buying during Thanksgiving meal, right? Are they, and these guys are supposed to have an exchange? What makes their exchange so different than anybody else's, that they have this type of volume without even doing a launch?
I love that Thanksgiving episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Doesn't, when I put it on, that's actually a GIF, and he's turning his head and flapping his wing and stuff, and when I put it on screen, it doesn't play it. But it's like,
well, we can't play because then we'll get shut down and demonetized.
No, it's just
we
a
did
GIF.
have monetization. Oh,
right.
That's good.
Yeah, this is Angie. She's another Kanukistani.
Yeah, nice. But man, I'm looking at this chart, man. This isn't a decent chart in comparison. these do work. I've trained up one of my friends. I've sat there and I've really kind of started teaching him how to look at the markets and trained, you know, like he goes by Brink's report. If you jump on, um, what is it called? On Telegram and you look up Brink's report, just tell him Pedro sent you. But I've taught him pretty decent how to look at the market. So he's really applied this skill set to micro coins. And he always hits me up and he's just like, dude, I still can't believe this works so well on micro coins. And I was just like, yeah, it works, man. I mean, like, it's all emotional stuff. And I, uh, I was talking with him the other day and he was just simply saying, like, this stuff works decently, right? Like, it's not, you can make a fairly good living off of this just based off of just the TA because it still follows it. And you do get, because micro coins, right? You'll get a 20%, 30%, 50% bump, right? Easily in a day. I mean, this thing went from 547 to what was that? 56, 57. I mean, it's 10%, 12%. 5, no, that'd be 5 would be 1, so that'd be 5, 4. Yeah, 20, 30%, 30% there in one move, right? Like one day. So I wonder if this is. I just don't see enough wicks. That's my biggest thing here. Is I don't see enough wicks down in these levels here. So for me, I'm a little concerned about that. I'm always looking to see defense against the market. This right here, you can see the market came down, sold off, bought back. You can see here, then when price comes down into this level here, you see it bounce back, right? This was a good defense against this sell-off. And I'm talking about this coin right here, or this day right here, where you see the market selling off. You can see here, there's nothing, there's no defense, there's no buyer wick here. Right, so it comes all the way down to an area. If you go back here, where you actually have wicks, small little wicks. You have wicks sitting right here, where they come in, the buyers step in right around these levels here, where there's buyer wicks. Then, and also if you're an ICT trader, this is also a fair value gap, right? If you're going from here to here, you can sit there and see the fair value gap. I'll draw on the fair value gap here real quick. Where you at? I can't. Where are the tools on here? Try this here real quick. I can't pull it up. It just won't let me do this.
Space Cat, are you behind?
Oh, there it is.
Like I'm saying this at 11:32 Central Time, 12:32 Eastern Time. You may be behind 5 to 10 minutes here. Look for that live button to catch up, or you're intentionally behind. But the comments seem to come in a little bit after the discussion.
You know, it also could be there's so many people on. Most people are working, and so many people are just chilling at home right now in America that potentially we're using too much streaming power.
Oh, yes. Our zillions of viewers.
Yep. Well, not even here, but just maybe YouTube's having an issue with.
Yeah, Space Cat's behind by about 5 to 10 minutes here. Well, I did notice. I have noticed that YouTube, when you clicked on a live show, it used to just bring you right to live, and then you had the option to go back and DVR. But now, a lot of times, especially on mobile, when you launch a live show, it starts at the beginning, and you have to hit live in order to get to the live thing. And so I like it the default way. I like it the default way, where when you hit a live show, it brings you to the live, and then you have an option to go back. I don't like this new way they're doing it.
Give me 7 days.
Like says, heard somewhere another token I was following was rugging FU coin. do we even need to think that that's going to rug, or do we just know that something called FU coin is going to rug?
Let's see. Check it out right here.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Come on, man.
Oh. No, man. This is gonna come back, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be
back.
strong, man. That's gonna be
strong like rock.
Definitely, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back, get all the liquidity back to drive it to its all-time highs, and then 10x from there.
Bro, look at this though.
Note that was a joke.
Yeah. He's being facetious, but look at this, bro. It goes down from how many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, all the way up to this is no way. There is no way that took off that many zeros. What was that? 4 zeros? 1, 2. I got it. That's just crazy, dude. This was part of the See, this is what I'm saying. People literally got rich.
Well, maybe you got to look at what the liquidity high was when they sold out. If the total liquidity was only 80,000 when they sold out, then they got about 60 of that. But if the liquidity was 2 million and they sold out, then they did get rich.
Nuts, absolutely nuts. Even if like they went, I mean, who's sitting there watching this?
I gotta write that one. I gotta write that one down for a season 4 of Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked.
That's awesome, dude. Like, if somebody bought in, if a few people bought in at these lower levels, they did 100+ X.
I can already hear it in my head. I do the whole script for Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked in my head. And because I can hear it ahead of time talking about it. And here we have the gem of the day, folks. For all of you that invested in FU coin, you got effed. It's like, I can hear it.
It's nuts, man. This is nuts. This got, even if you got in right here when it just started. But here's the thing. At this period in time of October of 2022, I think I remember when this came out. I think my boy told me about this. He's like, dude, you need to get in. And I was like, what's it called? And he's like, F you. I was like, what? Nah, I'm good. Like, that's just crazy. But it skyrocketed, man. This thing, I mean, literally 7 zeros and took off 4 zeros, man. This is 1000x. Oh, what's up, Zach? How you doing, brother? Gwen has been taking a nice, healthy, and wiping the fiat this year. I agree, man. I'd agree. I don't know. You got anything you want us to pull up, Zach? I'll do some TA for you.
Oh, I think he just flew by there. But back talking to Space Cat brought up that Max Chain thing. Their native token is PowerCoin, PWR. Here, I'll bring it up so you can see it. And WPR, the wrapped version. See if you can find out anything about those.
All right, let's see. Say that again. What was it? PWR?
Yeah, it's on the screen. PWR and WPWR. PowerCoin on Max Chain.
Power. No, dude. That is. Ooh. Oh, that hurts so bad. Look at that, bro. That's. Oh.
Well, not sure that's the right one. I don't know how to tell if it's the right one.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull up. Here we are. PWR. Max Chain PWR.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Rebranded to Max Chain. They've added, is this monthly or weekly? Oh, this is daily. All right, it's not that decent amount of volume lately. Like literally, what is that? 182,000? 56,000. So they started bringing in some real volume, even on this push up. And there's been some really defense against this from this down here, this down market here. Let me see if I can pull it up on Dex Tools. What was it? PWR.
That's that same chart against BUSD, but there should be a way to pull up just that. I don't know if Dex Tools is listing Max Chain yet as its own chain.
Yeah, we'll wait up for it.
Type Max in there and see what comes up.
Yeah, Die. I mean, I guess we could play it against Die.
I'm sure that's something else. It's WPR. Nah, don't worry about it.
WPR. Well, there we are. Max right here.
I don't think that's it either.
WPRR.
Space Cat, when you get a minute, or whomever is out there listening, drop a link to the chart that you follow for power and drop it in the comment section here so we can see it.
Yeah, we'll pull it up. Here we are. This is looking, but this is off of ETH. Nah, this is just. There we are. No, nothing.
Yeah, let's come back to that later.
Yeah. What else did you guys want me to look up?
Want to look up something else? Just drop them in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. While you're at it, Pedro, pull up something called Casks. KAS.
KAS. Let's go back here. KS. Caspa or KAS?
Yeah, Caspa to USDT.
All right.
Should be at like 130 something, 140 something.
Yeah, so this is the one that a friend of mine told me about around here. Actually, back in here. Around 3 cents. Another friend of mine told me to look at.
Yeah, somebody told me to look at it back at 0.03 cents, like way back that way. And I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
0.03. It's done a nice. I mean, whoever got in at these lower levels, man, did a really, I mean, what is that? It's 100x.
Yeah.
That's 100x. And what makes this one such a strong, I mean, what is it?
It's a real project. I don't know what the hell it is. But somebody was talking about it, and then I saw it on Lifer's show also. Someone requested him to look at it, and he's like, oh, it's booming, baby.
What was the other one? There's another one. There's another. It has all the details. I forget what the actual. It's something with. It's not Dex Tools, but similar to Dex Tools. That's very.
Dex. Oh God, what the hell is it?
Yeah, because it has a lot more other information. I wanted to pull something up here real quick on it.
I was thinking a Gecko terminal. That's not what I'm thinking of.
No. But similar. Yeah, if you could remember what that is. Let me pull this up, Cass. I had a friend of mine. I did look it up, and I did give him like the AOK. I said, you know what? This looks decent. Wait for a retracement, though. Because, again, looking at it, where was it right here? Like there's no defense. Like again, like when you start to see it at its peaks, where you see a big seller wick with a big buyer wick, and then you start to see this is indecision kicking in. And then as you're moving up, you see that the volume is stepping down. So people are taking profit here, and they're not necessarily buying back at these higher levels. So for me, I sit there and I go, well, where's the next area that they would probably come down to? It's that 6 cents mark, right? Potentially right here at the 7 cent mark. Looking at it, so you know, it's not bad. Right here is a decent. Let's see if this is a weekly area. Nope, not in a weekly area. Of a weekly area above it, is it a monthly? Nope. The next monthly area is down at these levels here. Here we go. Let me pull this up here. Right, and we're just going to. There we are. So this is an area here for retracing back to the 4 cent mark. Let me pull right here. Another pullback area.
I wish your wicks would be filled in with green and wouldn't be hollow. Is that an option to do that?
Yeah.
Because then we can see it better. You just can't. Very hard on the. I didn't even think of that. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Now we can see the charts. We've only been doing it for 6 months, and we're like, oh, now we got to figure it out.
There you are. Is that better?
Yeah, I can see that it's easier for you to see the wicks when they're hollow, but on the screen, it's better this way.
Fair enough. We can do that. So this is an area here, and let's sit there and go, okay, this area is more advantageous for me. Yeah, right here is really where.
Moon River.
Sorry,
So Doc using the whole fist there.
That's funny. There we are. So yeah, I would sit there and go, here's a nice little fair value gap in
Crypto Mike says deck screener. That was what I was thinking about.
That's what it is. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm sitting there going, what? Blank.
X. There we are. It's been a minute since I've actually gone through and looked at this stuff, like pulled up. Like now that we're starting to get some real volume coming in, stuff is actually going to really work.
Space Cat, your comments are like 6 to 8 minutes behind in the thing. See if you can speed up and get on it. Then the conversation will work better.
Yeah, go in here. Go. I'll sit there because I'll bring it up here because I've had that same issue. Boom. Here we go. And here's a plug for them. If you don't watch Blockworks Macro, you guys need to.
Yeah, it's good.
I love these guys. They're just good. They're all around. They're not one way or another. Obviously, they're pro Bitcoin, but they really do look at the market overall, and I love their stuff. So if you're sitting there, if you go up here into this level here and just hit your playback speed and go to, let's say, 1.5 or 1.75, so you can hear us, you can do that. You'll catch up with us.
Or just over to just off screen, right next to the play button, there's something that says live. Because we're live, it's not on the replay button, but it'll say live.
Would we get in trouble if? Right here, let's go check it out. Here we are.
I think I might be live now, Space Cat. It's 11:48.
Yep, looks like we are. You're live. We're live, baby. Here we are.
There we go.
Let's see. Oh man, we got 7 likes, man, on a live show in Bitcoin, dude. This is a dude. I feel
We're
like,
hitting the big time now. 7.
dude, if everybody could sit there and hit the heart button, that would be dope. Yeah. Anyways, here, let's go back and check this out. Space, thank you, Space man. Space Cap, that was awesome. Let me pull up Ben here real quick. Who we're gonna pull up? Yes. Why? I just saw you. Yes. Boom. Let's go here to the daily. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Here, this actually gives me more data here. Give me that weekly chart.
Oof, that looks good.
So, it's actually not bad. It's not bad at all on that weekly and monthly chart. And then what is their daily volume coming in at? Actually pull the week here real quick. Volume. Not bad at all. Like even in their low points. But they've only been around with Bitcoin moving up. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen if Bitcoin goes down. Oops, just did that. Forgot. Thanks for liking it, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. And sharing does help. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Not Karen, but caring. My jokes are so corny, bro. You know what I like is that we both have dad jokes, right? I think you know what we need to start doing. We need to start coming in and doing at least a dad joke a day, like literally, like those. I am so glad for COVID for dad jokes, like absolutely. I know it sounds silly, but dad jokes took off during COVID. And everybody started to, you know, there would be those ones where I forget who the 2 guys are. There was these 2 knuckleheads where I used to grow up. They actually grew up where I grew up at. And they get together and you see them, this guy just be like, yeah, well, I just got, you know, done working or something. I forget exactly, but the dad jokes are just on point. And I'm like, I literally thought to myself, I need to get good at dad jokes, like really good at it. And they would do this. Anyways, you know, I'm just being silly here. All right,
there we go.
Yeah, what do you call a fish in a bowl?
Bow tie.
Bow tie. What do you call a fish in a bow tie? I don't know.
I think we're about to find out.
Market cap, liquidity. Nice, man. They got decent amount of liquidity. Over $1 million, about $1 million here. That's really good. Where are we sitting there? There you are, and this is a good ratio here. 99 to sellers.
So sophisticated. Boo.
I love it. I love it. So good. Mike, you come in daily with a have everybody come in with dailies with dad jokes. That'd be great. Great. Man, and listen, this is actually really good. So the market cap is 4.4 mil. And over the last few weeks, man, they've done 100,000, 200,000. Like this thing is moving. Like it's legit. It's actually a decent amount of volume. One of the primary reasons why I didn't want to get in at these lower levels here with Casper was literally because you had like the volume here wasn't as good. Like, and I was just like, bro, I don't. But this right here, this push, it's going to retrace. I want it to retrace. Fashionable halibut.
Halibut.
What's halibut?
Fish.
Oh, halibut. Halibut.
Really?
Halibut. Got it. I got it. That's good.
Fun fact, King Kaching and the rest of you, in Ottawa, there's a hotel called the Novotel. I was telling you about the bar I used to like to hang out at and work from. The bartenders there crafted cocktails, and they made a combination of a Tom Collins, which is gin-based, and an old-fashioned, which is bourbon-based. And they ended up with a drink, and they said, we didn't need a name for this thing. They didn't have gin and bourbon in the same drink. They just combined some things of each. And I was like, well, a Tom Collins and an old-fashioned, you might as well call it the Fashionable Tom. And they named the drink after me. It was on the menu for like 3 years.
That's cool.
Fun fact of the day.
That is awesome.
Apparently, few people ordered it, so they took it off the menu.
Oh, that's sad. That's all
Wah,
good.
wah.
It happens. Okay, so this one's actually pretty decent. I like it. I would look to get in if you're going to get in, because you can see here that you had a bunch of sellers come in that pushed this up. Because you have where sellers sit at, you have buyers that kick in, right? So they were actually, you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, which basically you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, which makes it like these didn't exist. That's when you see me. I gotta be careful. I can't. All right, so then that comes in right here. So yeah, that 4-cent mark area is a nice area. I do like that area here. I see people really buying in at this level here. Because you can see here, even when we're seeing these sellers, the volume on the sell market is pretty low. But I don't think people want to buy it fully at these, but still at this market cap of 4 mil, it's still tiny. What do they do? What's their shtick?
I have no idea.
Let's check.
Actually, I take that back. I used to know, but it got pushed out of my mind when I learned something new.
Oh, that's funny.
What was their market cap again?
4.4 mil.
Yeah,
not bad.
and there's a lot. I mean, I don't like to say things. I very rarely say, "Oh, it's mooning. It's going to 10x." And the talk about it was, and it wasn't like from Moon Boys talk. It was generally amongst the user base with things going on and stuff like that. This will likely 10x over the next year. So that's why I started paying attention to it. I didn't invest in it. I'm just paying attention to it.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Just had to run it through my. Yeah, I was just running it so I could hear it.
The token operates on a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
The token once, 1M, 5M, 50, 01 Casper. This approach enables the transfer of value.
Oh, you got a video on. I got you.
Bridging the gap and allowing users to utilize the benefits of both networks. The key benefit of WKS is the ability for users to participate in Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem using their Casper holdings, unlocking access to a
Are you
wide
watching
range
it like at 1.75 speed?
lending platforms, yield farming, and more.
Yeah. Well, I read it.
We can hear it.
Through. Oh, you can. I didn't know you can. I'm so sorry. Shoot.
It's like it's on a speaker and we hear it through your microphone, not through your system.
Oh no. Oh no. I'll silence that. Forgive me. I thought. Stop. Oh, forgive me. I normally I'll sit there I need to change that setting. I forgot to set that in because when I come on to your show, if sometimes I'll sit there and give me 1 second. Here we are. Come on, where are you at? There we are. Sound. Boom. Settings. No. There you are. I do not hear speaker sound or speaker computer sound. Oh, that ain't gonna work. At least that stinks. All right, I'll remember to do that from now on. That's actually good because sometimes we'll play the Jim Cramer video or with him talking about the market manipulation, and so yeah. So basically, it looks like it is an Ethereum-based system that. What is it? Casper Holding unlocks access to a wide range of services, including decentralized exchanging, lending platforming, yield farming, and more, to ensure the balance of Casper, wrap Casper, and Casper change. A trusted custodian holds the necessary amount of cash in reserve. This ensures the value of the wrap token and allows for a revenue process unwrapped where users can exchange their Caspa back into Cas at any time. Okay. But why is this one, like, there's a lot of these out there. Why is this one taking off? Well, obviously the community. How big is the community? Do they have...
I think it's pretty substantial.
Got
substantial.
And where's their Telegram? Didn't this used to give you... Yeah, here we go. Boom. Open. Boom. Is this coming in? No, it didn't come in. Might have to go through here then. Caspa. I have like 3 different types of telegrams on my system here. Still 53,000 and 2,000 online. It's actually pretty decent. It's really good. Discord.
Yeah, I like it when I look up something and it has a strong Discord community.
Yeah.
Having a strong Discord community is a lot more impressive than having a strong Telegram community because, as we know, Telegram is full of bozos.
But the key is it's actually different people talking. I mean, listen, I lead a community, and I know how difficult it is to get people, keep them engaged.
Oh, I know. I try on Telegram, and it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
the only way to really keep them engaged is by pumping your coin, and then all of a sudden they're engaged and they're
Yeah,
great.
and then they're gone again. Yeah. But then that's when you get the moon boys, like, to the moon, let's go, FNG.
Carmen, welcome to the show.
What's up,
If you've got if you're put together and got your makeup on, you're welcome to come on live and talk smack with us.
And if not, you're still welcome.
And if not, yeah, exactly. And happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Carmen is in Nevada, thus in America, thus on T-Bird Day.
T-Bird. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're doing well too, Miss Carmen. It always pops in my head. Forgive me. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
Carmen Crypto.
Nice. All right, boom. Let's check these guys. Carmen Crypto. But I'm actually joining this on Telegram here. For Caspa Wallet, you can use one of these applications. Okay. The admins of this group have restricted your ability to send messages. Fair enough. You never know, man. I actually like it when I see something like that. I actually love seeing that they actually restrict people, which means that they actually are doing a good job managing their stuff.
Yeah.
Wallet, clicker. Boom. Start. What is it? OX7. Please complete the CAPTCHA. You have 3 out of 3 tries. No. If you can't see the full picture, try opening it. What is this asking me?
It's captchas.
0. Is this a math problem? I mean, 0x7. That's 0 then.
Right, just type 0.
Yeah. Boom, the rules. I read and accepted the rules. Boom.
Exactly, King. Win, Robert. Robert's disappeared. He deleted his Telegram account, turned the Space Lounge over to Carmen, and moved on. I miss him. I miss his strange brand of humor.
What happened with Robert?
Rob that used to be a partner with us in the Space Lounge. And he is a degen all around. Good guy, but was going through some personal issues. Right, was going through it right when crypto was crashing. Robert was going through personal issues, and that's a combination for failure. And right when NFTs first went from that went down, their first 99% down, he had personal issues and all that kind of stuff. And that's a double whammy. And so he disappeared for a while. But you're right, Kaching. He was a character for sure. And Carmen, absolutely. We'll see him again during the bull run and be like, "Hey, you guys, where you been?" He was a character. He used to stream from his boat. I won't get into his personal life, but he had to live on his boat for a while. He had a nice boat, big cruiser with downstairs and cabins and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And it was great. And it would be going well, but you're on a boat, you're at a marina, so you have crappy internet. And it would just disappear.
Yeah, so my audio is quite loud. You guys got some awesome volume.
Who said that?
Nice dad. The guy on Capsa.
I thought you meant on our stream.
I know. No. Nice dad joke. We were just talking about dad jokes. Awesome. This guy's cool. I like him. I love these little things. Like this is, I guess, I think, but like I said, I brought this up. I think it was yesterday. That there's such a big difference between traditional crypto, right? Or this guy. Are you a mod? I wonder if this guy's a mod. Man may calculate, but it is heaven that ordains. Oh, all right. I like it already. All right. Yeah, so this guy looks like he's just a mod here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are still getting the highest quality content on the internet after 2 hours. So I'm at 3.5 hours being on the. I'm at 3 hours. I started the stream early before. I've been here 3 hours. This is only the highest quality content.
I'm gonna send it to him. I'm gonna send you a link to my show on YouTube. I'm going to send you a link for my show on YouTube.
Tell him you're talking about Kaz.
Yeah, we are talking about live now. You'd probably be like, "Oh, they're just trying to," and we're not. We're actually not trying to, like, what do they call that? What is
Shill?
It? Shill. Yeah, we're not trying to
We're definitely not shillers. There's no doubt about that.
We are not trying to shill.
Just talking about stuff.
Just talking about the market, and someone brought you up, and I'm doing TA on you guys, and was pretty impressed.
All right, don't shine their asses too much there.
Pretty impressed with the chart. Let's see what's up. Maybe I don't know. They just met me, so.
And you got the right one? You don't have a scam token?
I think so. Actually, I do not know. That's the worst part, right? Like I did click on the their stuff here on Desk Screener. Screener.
You got to them from Deck Screener. Okay.
Yeah. So
hopefully it opens the same one.
Yeah, we'll see. Open Telegram again. Yeah. Douglas is typing. What is Douglas going to say? Anyways, let's jump back into the market here real quick. It's really interesting to see that the market here, after everything that we've seen with CZ, I'm just impressed that the market did not fall, man, like at all. Like that is kind of what blew me away when I'm looking at this. Like, and even with all this, I mean, you would assume like everything else would have been just like kind of falling apart. And most things are just kind of chilling here. So it's really interesting to sit there and see what's actually going on over on the market. B&B, the chart is nothing. Read about, let's see what this guy's saying. Read about Dak Knight. What's she are no she are no trying we are not trying to look at me. Guys probably think I'm a retard. Oh shoot, you can't say things like that.
At least you admitted it. It's all right if it slips now and then. You're over the age of 40, so that's okay. They give you a little break. I'm over 50, so I get a lot more breaks.
No, they don't, man. Like, look, they crucify people. Like, and listen, forgive me because I work with a lot of people who have TV eyes too. So it's like, oh man.
I slipped up and said that right in front of a mom who has a special needs kid, and I felt like crap for like a year. Lived on my street and everything. I was like, oh, you idiot.
It looks nice. It does look nice, I have to admit. Your chart looks good. I want to see more defense against down markets, though. I want to see more of demand wicks, though. Demand wicks. As the markets are moving up. And the reason why I bring that up, and so you can say here, so you can sit there and see, is like this right here, like this little part right here, where you see the market go, like start here, it goes down, and then it goes up, and then comes back down again. It opens, it goes down, it goes back up, and then it pushes up and it closes. So these little things show me that there's people that are defending this market, right? This, whatever CASP is, these buyers are legit. And so that's what I want to see in this market, right? You kind of see like as it's coming down, you see people buying in. So for me, that's something that I look to see as we're moving up. I like to see larger buyer wicks at more at the bottom here, simply because those buyer wicks means that people did try to sell it off and then pushed it back up, sold it off, and then pushed it back up again. Which miner should I buy? So
let's see if we get any. Did you put a link to the show?
Well, like, if I do that, I think they might just think I'm trying to shell.
Well, just you just always ask. Say, hey, you want a link to the show?
Do y'all want a link to the show that we
are still talking about it?
Casting. We are.
I'm going to use the facilities as they say. Be right back.
I hope everything comes out right, my friend. I'll be praying for you. Do y'all want a link to the show that we are? Should change the name of that alt to Don Chumbalone. That's awesome. Yeah, man, I'm just looking at this here. It's not bad. Not bad at all. We'll see if they want it. So, Caspa, not bad, man. Not bad at all. That's actually really impressive that you guys have had some pretty good sell-offs and rebounded really, really well. Not bad at all. And once you clear above this all-time high here with volume, then it should come back down here, retest here. You want to see that retest at this level here if you're going to get in. that 5 cent mark area. I know that's cutting you 75% or 66%, but that right here will push you guys. That would push these guys to that next level of, I mean, you're doing 3x every push. You can see here, right? They went 1 and then they went up to 5, right? Here you go, went down here, or from here, you had to push up, went down. That's 05, and you went to, that was a 10x. But then this one was a sell off from 1, 2 to 5. That's a 5x. So then this right here was pretty much a little less. There's more of just a retracement back down here to these highs, or then rallied up. So this one here, again, from its low, 4, so 0.4, what is this? So is that 4 cents? 4 cents, 3 cents to 15 cents.
Space Cat, thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Come back and watch us anytime.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate you. See you guys later. Boom. I put it in there. I don't know if they're saying go ahead.
Crypto Mike Pedro does stream on his channel occasionally, but for the past couple of months, we've been teamed up to do it to try and somehow I recruited Pedro to come on over.
You know what it was? When I saw you in Brian's group, right? You told a story that was engaging, and it was very succinct and very humorous. You were good at telling stories. And I said to myself, he's good at this. He's really, like, you're really good at communicating when you really need to, right? And you were succinct. And your voice, and I sat there and I said, man, I like this guy a lot. And very rarely do I actually like somebody who talks, because half the time they don't know how to use
right. Wah, 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 blather, blather, blather.
Yeah, and the way, and just look at our Caitlin Long interview, right? Like,
right. Excellent.
Like, that's just a great example of how your skill set is at, right? Like, you can sit there and we can have a good time, and then we can get serious, and then come back, have a good time, and get serious. It's like this ebb and flow that you're really good at. And you did a great job in Brian's group. And I said, yeah, this guy's dope. And so we just started talking. I said, yeah, dude, I'd love for you to, remember? I was like, you need to come on my show, man. I'll come on your
dope,
show.
man. I'm dope.
And so I wasn't getting much traction on mine. And so I sat there and I said, you know what? Let me just see if we can kind of partner together for now.
Yeah, it works.
See what happens.
You need someone to BS with.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and next guy that I've talked to you about, but he's got such a big community right now, and he's got his own coins. I mean, he's got like 3 coins that he's launched and trying to moon, but has a extremely in-depth knowledge of political science, geopolitical positioning and movements, that he's just great. He's really good at just really bringing news to and looking much like you on a very broad sense on both things, but he's very extremely conservative. So I thought about maybe bringing you on with him and just having you talk. And I think him coming on our show also, I think he would do great too as well. I think he would love it. He's funny. He's actually really, really funny like you. So he's another guy that I was like, man, if we can get Mike on with you, and you two would talk about good, like, he's very conservative and you're more liberal conservative, right? Like, you're more central liberal.
Yeah, like libertarian type stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say libertarian. Well, yes, libertarian, but more liberal, or more like a liberal libertarian, right? Where I'm like more of a conservative libertarian.
Right.
Right. And so it's just, anyways, all that to say is we need a much wider and broader system in America, and then a 2-system system. I don't know how to say that. Y'all know what I mean. So I don't know. Let's see. They're probably going to ban me, but I'll put it in and see if they want to come. So either way, let me see. Do your own. So
actually, that's what we should do. Is we should pick once a week, pick a token that has a big community, and just drop into their TG or Discord and say, hey, we're talking about this live right now. You guys want a link? And if so, come join the stream.
Actually,
Because that's
bad
not really
idea.
That's not really shilling anything.
Yeah. We're talking about you right now. We'll say that. Yeah. We are talking about you right now. Now, I'm impressed. I'm like legitimately impressed with the market cap slash volume ratio you guys have on your chart. Love to have you. Love to have some of you guys talk or chat in the chat area. We'll see. Yeah, I just think like when I look at like that's the thing that kind of just more or less blows. You know, normally you don't see that type of volume within a chart at that market cap, right?
Right.
Like, and that's where, you know, especially like even at these low marks here, I mean, you can see like there's definitely a buyer base here that you got a real buyer base, like where it's not just a pump, you know, like here you're having a sell off already because the broad market is selling up, and still it's a decent amount of volume coming even on the sells. So their leadership is doing something right. You know, they've got a decent following of people not wanting to sell off. And this was, you know, I think how far did they go back? I think they go all the way back to September of 22. So it's not bad. I'm just being honest. Like if you look at it, like that volume stepping in, yeah, it's been steady. And the part that I kind of like, and this is actually what's really nice, is like if you look at this, like here's the push, here's the bump right here. This right here, this bump of volume push up. And then you see a retracement of the same amount of volume, but these buyers aren't like even into these levels here as we're going down, you can sit there and see it's a healthy sell-off. At least a crypto sell-off. That's the better word, right?
Right. Crypto.
Like right, a healthy sell. It's you know, they're losing about 60%, 50-60% of their actual market cap there, but and we're not in the you know, it's not in the 90s. And then again, you see a push up, so it's not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Even at these higher levels here, right? Like you can sit there and see, right? Like there's a decent amount of volume coming in. I just hope like, you know, like when you start to see this type of stuff, right? Like, and the micro coin is that the devs don't get greedy. You know, like just don't get greedy. Like you're doing a decent job. It looks like you got a good community here,
Right.
You know, like literally people are talking at least every minute, you know, here. So I mean, you've got it. And what's it look like on the community within?
Well, we just got a couple of people joined our stream. If you're from the CAS community, give us some info in the comment section here, wherever you're watching us about it and what you think is going on with the project. Looks like since we've been talking, it's been pumping.
No. I don't know. I'm not even. Don't even. I'm not.
We're going to the moon, boys.
Yo, my boy Brinks used to sit there and be
See?
like,
it's going up.
I don't know. I mean, it did go up, but I mean,
now it's going down. All right. No.
Like, see, like I said, I don't want to take any of that.
No.
But I would say though, as like you can see here, that it is trending off of that 8-period moving average, and we are starting to see some volume step in. And there is a really good defense against the sell-off. So there's some buyers step in. You can sit there and see this actually moving up, which isn't bad. Are they actually there? Let me check out the actual video here real quick. Boom. I don't see nothing. But hey, we do have, dude. Where is it? Where? If you guys
we just grabbed 3 new viewers here in the past 5 minutes. So
if you guys could like it and like and subscribe, we'd appreciate that. That'd actually help a lot. We do go through. I do a lot of TA with micro coins, and thanks, I appreciate that. And we check out little things. I've had a few friends of mine who talked about you guys a couple times, and at first I just kind of ignored you guys. Now I'm kind of mad at myself. I was caught sleeping on this one. I should
Totally, me too. Sleeping.
I mean, at least throw some 100 in and see what's up. See how much is in it. Not bad at all. And then this morning we did check out, what was the other one? Max Chain, the PWR, and a couple other ones. Yeah, I think these are really decent moves that you guys have really having. And I like the sell-off that you guys have been having within your guys' coin. Like I was just telling Tom, or Striking here, that you're decent. I mean, you have good sell-offs, right? Where your sell-offs, like people, I know crypto is like, no sell-offs, only up. But the reality is like, I want to see sell-offs, because that means you have a real strong base that actually comes in and buys a market and doesn't allow it to, like it's not a pump and dump. And you're seeing a lot of defense. Even as we go down, you can see that people are buying as you're going down. So that's not bad at all, and a pretty good sell-off. You guys are motivated. So it'll be really interesting. What is the primary thing that you guys like about Caspa? That you guys like? I'm really curious, because it looks like you guys have a decent community here. And if you want to put it in the comment section here, I know Tom, you have that immediate connection that you can sit there and see when they do talk. But what signifies them from, let's say, other coins that are potentially like yours?
Actually, if you have the YouTube chat up, I see it at the same time as that. I just aggregate them from every platform we're watching.
It takes longer than what it's supposed to. I feel like, at least.
Well, we're on about. I have it on low latency, so we're on about a 10-second delay.
Okay,
that's about it. So it's not 30 or 40 seconds like some platforms, but and I've tried the ultra low, like it's almost real. It's like 1 second delay, but the signal, it just drops too much.
I got it. So we'll see. Then I have an appointment at the dentist. Space Cat. Yep. Yeah, we'll see if it'd be nice to know. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. With the TA encouragement, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think it's not a bad idea to actually go through it. People tell us about percolating projects, and you can go through and check them out. Do your own TA, Tom, and it'd be good for you to check them out, and not TA, excuse me, your own analysis, and say, we'll keep an eye on these guys, and hopefully they don't rug. I mean, not to say that you guys are. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, you guys are serious about this project, but I'm always.
Let's see, where are we here?
Yeah, boom. Can sit there and see this. Yeah, what's really interesting is, do you know any top organizations that? I mean, just even go in there and say, hey, we're talking about you guys. If you want to come check us out, show wise, like even going to the Shiba Inu saying, hey, we're talking about you guys. If you guys want to come, we're friends with Zach Humphreys or something like that, right? Have them come along and be like, what up?
Yeah, we should. We really should do that more.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we got 10 likes. Not bad. I mean, in a live stream, I think we maybe at the most have had 4 or 5 at its peak, right? Bitcoin.
Let's just look at our stats.
Oh no, Bitcoin on YouTube.
Hold on a second. I got the here. Oh no. What were our here? We've had our highest concurrent viewership. We had 9 people at once. 9 at once. We've had 30. According to the YouTube stat thing, we've had 30 total viewers today. So unique viewers. So that's good.
That's not bad at all, man.
Yeah, that's what you get when you just go on and on and on all morning here, or all day here. People tune in because it pops up in their stream and see what's going on.
I think that's important, right? Like when people start to see us really talking about the markets and what's actually happening. Like my biggest thing is like we need to like crypto people are so far removed from traditional markets, right? That it's like I think they can hurt. So it's like I try to educate people from, and that's why I brought up what am I calling them? Blockworks Macro, because they do a great job of just showing people how the traditional markets really do move the crypto market and how the bond market really moves the traditional markets, and they do a great job on bringing that together, right? Where you know most people don't realize like that your whole here in America our lives are ran by bonds, and people are like, what do you mean
Right.
bonds? Well, literally, the bonds are what actually help pave the road or give you clean running water. They have to raise funds for that, right? Municipalities, and the way it's done is through bonds, right? And yes, your taxes help, but it's really the those bonds that give the initial capital so that they can actually do the initial work, and then it's paid off obviously with taxes down the road, and people buying again, and but it's all ran that way, and so that's why it's so important to look at the overall market. And when you're saying, well, why does that matter with crypto? That doesn't matter. Well, when your taxes go up, what happens with the money, right? You don't have money to put into crypto because you got to pay your car taxes now got up 20%, or you got to pay your electrical bill, right? And it's gone up because it's a local business that runs things. So,
Right.
or at least statewide business that runs things, and they got to raise money through the government. And so it's this cycle. So it's important to understand how it all works together. So when you see taxes going up, you see these things going up, that's just less money to go. Or when you see crude oil going up, that's why you always see me kind of looking at crude oil as well, gold and crude oil, is because crude oil, if like a lot of people, like the majority of us, come on, buddy. I'm slowing up here. When you see natural gas and crude oil going down or going up, this is an indication. Let me move all these at once. This is an old chart. Look at that, huh?
What chart is that?
This is crude oil.
Oh,
I got the way I used to do the markets all set up this way. All right, here we go. Oh, this is price. I'm sitting there like trying to delete this. So like when you see crude oil going up to these higher levels or lower levels, like this is an indication of where money flow is going, right? And if you're able to see where money flow is going, then you can see where money flow is coming out of, right? So if money is going into your car to keep it running so that you can go to work, okay? Well, that extra cash you can no longer put towards crypto or to
Right.
investments. And so that's why you want to pay attention to these things. Obviously, if we look, crude oil has been going down here, right? We went from, early October where it was 95. Now we're down at 76, which has been nice. And it's not shocking that during that same time period, we've seen a good run from October, right? Early October, where we started seeing price push up, right? And so crypto, you can see Bitcoin's moved up in the same sense. You're also seeing Ethereum in the same sense, right? So it's one of those things. It kind of correlates but you also have to understand if bond prices are making money. A lot of people are making money with the 1 month, like 5% for the last 5 months. That's 25% APR as of right now, right? I think it's all together. I think at the beginning of the year, let me pull this up here real quick. And you're like, Pedro, why are you going over this? It doesn't matter. It does matter. Like, for example, Michael Saylor right now, if he's been like looking at the bond markets, It'd be silly for him not to be putting his money into treasuries and or taking the one, the 1 month where he's getting 3% annual or monthly. You put $1 million in, bro. That's $300,000.
No, it's 30 grand.
30 grand, sorry.
30 grand.
Yeah.
30% would be 300.
Yeah, it'd be 30%. I'm thinking overall, that's here back in April, right? You can see here this whole entire time period, he's been getting decent amount of money, just holding it in a safe place. Where all of a sudden now it's like okay, it's like 5% on a monthly basis when he puts in $100 million. He's 5%. He lets that sit there for a couple months. He's able to drop, 20%, 30% of that. That's 5% compounded, right? Or you can sit there and you can see it's just, the next support level here is going to drop down to 3%. But the Feds have said that they want to keep the interest rates up, right? And so understanding how the interest rates are actually happening with the Fed and how bonds work, right? And interest rates work, how it relates to crypto and major institutions coming in and distributing that income throughout the markets. And since we're in an area and a time period that's really kind of like turbulent, we don't know which way the market's going to go. We can't really trust the economy. A safe place potentially is gold, silver, and i.e. BTC. So that's how that all works, and it's really nice. And so, for the guys who just came on, I like to do TA kind of over the broad market so we can sit there and see what's actually happening. And then if we see these things kind of like a sell-off of Bitcoin right here, right, potentially could push gold up, right? Because people would take that income and buy into gold.
Right.
Right? Because this is a store value that holds its value, right? So if we see this, we start to see a sell-off. Where is that typically going to go? It might go down to the 29,000, 30,000, and potentially come down to that 24,000 and 20,000 area for Bitcoin, right? If that happens, well, what's going to happen with the smaller coins? They're going to go down, right? And so if they're going to go down, well, then you can, so let's use CAS, for example, here we go. Like, I'm not going to buy in at these peaks, right? There's no way. That's silly. But I will look to buy in on CAS at a lower level, right? Down at these lower levels here, right? Seeing it come down potentially at that, potentially 8 might start my position in, but I'm really looking to get. And so when you see a sell-off within Bitcoin and it hits those lower levels that I was talking about, I'm looking to, I can literally double, triple, quadruple my money from 04 or from 4 cents to 15 cents. Whereas if I go, so
like it, I like the quadruple or triple or quadruple the monies.
Yeah. And so it's these little things you can use in your TA, right? And that's why you see what I do. It's like, it's multi-purpose. So a 20% move or a 30% move in Bitcoin is on a micro coin, we're talking that's depending on the community. And CASP's got a decent community. Look at these guys, man. They're actually moving. They've just been talking it up.
Like I said, it's the DYOR live influencer.
There you go. I don't know. I don't want to. I just don't want to do that. Like that.
Did anyone respond to your posts?
Nah. I mean, I've got a few likes, a few people. But they're actually bringing decent. Like the European company will be issuing the first ever ETP, similar to ETF or CASPA. Details to follow after official launch. What? Dr. Martin Heinzbo. I gotta check this out.
I'm guessing they're stronger in their Discord. Is that what you were saying earlier?
Yeah. I think they're definitely. So what is this? I'm curious. Ex former Twitter Dr. was in blockchain before you were born. Head of research at Up Holistic Inc. Maybe we should bring this guy on and see I would love to see what he's doing. He looks like a legit project. Now I understand why you have so much I don't want to say legit because it's still things are still very early, but it's interesting to know. Let's see. I'd love to remember to donate to Coder of Stuff in Discord. Funding pool is the wallet address. Oh no. Who could we bring on our show to talk about this? I'd love to know about the project. We've got some people here who've worked with X and that are part of this organization. Before you were born, research upon not always. How big is this following? 88,000, not bad. How many people respond and look? 37,000. It's got 29. Top 10 best crypto exchanges with low fees, 2023 ranking. This guy is an analysis. All right, see what he does. Financial services, New York, Vienna, London. Should we follow for crypto law, St. Thomas, Express, Sancta Reality? I see why my Caspa is now integrated with the safest and most transparent crypto platform, Uphold Inc. You can now move Caspa between their Uphold and external wallets. Your freedom and self-custody as part of our mission to give you seamless access to decentralized finance. All right. Is it possible? I'm gonna see if it's possible to bring on. We have had Kate, then so Caitlin. Kate.
I'd drop that in their Discord if that's more popular. The Telegram might just be the jokers that still use it.
Actually, you know what? You're right. Let me pull up my Discord here. Actually, do you want to do that? Or do you got the Discord up?
No, I don't, but I have Discord open here. How do I find their Discord?
I'll send you the link here. Let me pull them up. Boom. Copy. If you go all the way down at the bottom, you'll sit there and see legal status. Boom. This is one way that you can go through and you do, if you guys don't know, like if you want to do like background research on to make sure I'm going to send it to you through Telegram, all right?
Yeah.
Boom. What you want to do is go down to their search on Twitter, other parts. Why can't I don't care. Update token info.
On Deck Screener, where do I find their
Yeah, I just was
info?
there. I literally just clicked on it. Let me see if
here it is, Telegram, Discord. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's right. I still have an IP restriction. I failed the CAPTCHA joining the other day. Oh.
Yeah, dude, they are so hard to like deal with, dude. Like
I know, and I can't. I have to log into another computer and join on another computer, not on my same IP network. I have to log into my Canadian computer. Oh, it drives me crazy.
I can be very frustrated. And now I lost their ability to connect. Where's their Discord? Why can't I? Oh, here it is down here. Boom. No, that's Discord. continue. No, see these guys, such a pain.
Oh, I mistake the stupid Teams button for the Discord button all the time. It drives me crazy. I don't want Teams. I don't ever want to use Teams.
It's not bad. I mean, if you trade these guys right now for one, it shows me 1257. Not bad. Sent with liquidity of one. Yeah, they just came to 1 million. They just shot up in their liquidity almost. Was it $200,000 when we last saw it?
Which token or which coin? What?
This was the Caspa. They just 200 over. They just increased their liquidity by 200,000.
Since we've been talking?
It was not.
That,
No, I'm sorry.
Their market cap?
2,000.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
2,000. I don't know why it was 998,000, and they just went up $2,000 in liquidity. So I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Does not make sense. But either way, man, reach out. See if we can reach out and see if we can have one of the guys here. I'm gonna see here if he'd be willing to. Come on, I'll reach out to him on Facebook. All right, but on Twitter. Hello. He may a YouTuber. We've had people on like Caitlin Long.
All right, I got into the Discord. No, I don't. I want to. I'm logged in now. I got the stupid Discord app open, and it's wanting me to go in through the web page. I hate that.
Notable. Someone
Oh my word, their Discord's packed.
you mentioned your project, and I was looking at it and was impressed. Would love to have you on our show and talk about what you are doing with Caspa.
All I gotta think as this day winds on here, a lot of the people are gonna, if they don't have anyone to spend Thanksgiving with, like you and I right now, they're on the internet. But if they've got anyone at all around them, they're starting in the cooking mode and that type of stuff. So we might see this start to wane here.
Yeah, we'll get it. Well, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. We'll cut it off at 11 o'clock right now. So, or what is it? 11,
1.
12, 1, 2.
But it's 12. It's almost. Oh my god! It's almost 1 o'clock where I am. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Someone mentioned your project, and I was looking at it and was impressed. Would love to have you on our show and talk about what you are doing with Caspa. Thanks, and have a blessed day. Thanks. And have a... Oh, I forgot to reach out to the guy with, I need to do it this week coming up. What's his name? The shadow statistics guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike, dude. That dude's a dude. He is a G, like legit, like
He's the G.
Been doing this for 50 plus years, like going over the markets and understanding the numbers. And
all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick social media break. If you are out there listening to us right now live, drop us a comment. Drop us a comment. Tell us where you're from. Tell us where you'd want to be calling us from. Tell us whatever you want. Wish us happy Thanksgiving. Wish us happy National Independence Day of whatever country you're coming from. If that's that's today, I'm sure it's some country's Independence Day. But let us know what's going on. Give us some feedback, some engagement to help us with the algorithm and help get the word out. But we're trying to do here, and that is just have a good time, educate you about some crypto news and crypto projects. And we've been heavy on the projects today because we got lots of time and we can just take requests. If you got a request, let us know.
There we are. We'll reach out to him right now and see if he's willing to check us out. Thanksgiving. Alrighty. Let's see if Dr. Martin Heisboek.
Dr. Martin Luther the King. Another movie quote, ladies and gentlemen. Just an Eddie Murphy movie quote.
Dang, dude. And literally I've literally gotten 1, 2, 3. I'm getting a lot of followers, dude, on Twitter. I'm like shocked. Like I had like 300 a while back ago, like not even that far, like maybe a couple of months ago. And I've literally am now at how many do I have now? I have 561 followers now.
There you go. Next thing you know, 10 million.
I'd be happy with 100,000.
I'd be happy with 1,000.
If I keep going, man, like this, where I'm getting about 5 to 10 a day, I mean, I want to be shocked to be. I mean, it's just growing too. It's like it was steady for 1 or 2, and it looks like they're decent people. It's not like it's actually real people that are following me. So for a while, I had just like a bunch of weird porn things, but now it's decent. They're like actually, people. Maybe I should start posting more on Twitter. I'm kind of shocked that I'm getting this much. And I have been making little comments here and there about stupid things or things that I like on Palestine or Israel. That is just dumb. Why would you say that? Who is the real bad guy? Why would you want that? Because people kill you over that. Literally. Keep it. You know, one thing I liked, I love this. I don't know if you look at them, but there's this another. It's called World of Statistics. I love them, dude. Some of the stuff that they post is just dope. Like the most peaceful countries, right? Boom, and it just goes over statistics, and I think they pull them from the CIA because I've looked up a few of these.
The World Fact Book.
Yeah, the World Fact Book from the CIA, and I think they're just pulling it, but it's just dope stuff, right? Like just cool, like which country has the most beautiful women, right? Then it's Sweden, Colombia, Brazil, Russia. It's like the top 4. Like who sits there, right? Like and calculates that. Or unemployment rate for the rest of the world. South Africa right now is at 31%. Spain 11.84. Turkey 9.1. Brazil 7.1. I'm interested to see. I wonder what statistic are they using on this? That's where my question is. What statistics are you using? What stats are you quantifying your stats?
Let's see, I got 3 new followers on Twitter yesterday. Or not yesterday, since I turned the computer off last night. And all 3 of them are spam girls. The count form, November 2023, and you click on it, and some random name with a letters and numbers Twitter follower name, and it just has a link to some cam girl site, and you're like, come on. Then you report them as spam, and they don't go away. It's like Elon's given up on it, and he's going to just allow the spam bots to go crazy, and then he can say, look, user engagement's up. And I only clicked on their profile so I could hit the report button.
Yeah. What can he do though? Like, I mean,
well, there's certain things like when you open a new account, you can't do anything for like, a day, or you can't add 50,000 followers. You can't post more than once an hour or something. There's so many things you can do to restrict bots. And not only that, but make, for a new account, you could every day you get an email saying you got to click this in order for it to your account to continue. And there's tons of things. And they say they stop 1 million new accounts. Oh wait, we got someone from Kaz here saying you might be wondering why we have a good chart.
Yeah, that's exactly. I would love to know, because it's been one of those things that I'm like sitting there going like, huh.
It says, in my personal opinion, you have to check the coin tokenomics distribution. Well, give us some clue on that. We're unfamiliar with it, but it was brought up. I was watching a Crypto Lifer's stream, and he mentioned it. I was reading some other article about it, and so we decided to learn about it. It has a good chart.
Yeah,
Fair launched, and it's fair to say we're spread very equally. Well, that's good.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what's been impressive to me, is like normally when you look at the volume in these stages, right, with a fair launch, you see a huge amount of volume, right, that comes in, and then you see a decreasing of it. And for me, like, I'm looking at this from an actual like a trading standpoint, right? Like that's what I am. And I look at this like this is a coin. Like I would sit there and go, well, when it pulls back to this area, I'm looking to buy, and we're talking like long term, like see what it does, right? Like
right.
at $4 million market cap, if you got to, I mean, realistically, I mean, 100 million, 200 million. I'm happy with that, right? Like, thank you. Have a good day. Like,
right. Thank you. Have a good month. Have a good 6 months.
Good year.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Like, people, so that's what I'm impressed with, is that, yeah, your volume is really even distributed.
Well, what I'm impressed with here, Pedro, sorry to interrupt you, but there was a long period here of like if you eliminated this pump right here from the chart and expanded way over here further, you would see that the last couple of pumps would look pretty big. I can't see the dates on that.
Here.
Yeah, eliminate the current pump. Those two humps there, this one and then the one further, were big moves in it. And then came the current big move. People that have been holding for a long time now have some rich bags. And they haven't sold. If you note, they haven't sold. Normally, when this pump happens and there's a little weakness, what happens? That those guys they just dump it. Say, let's get it and move on. But they've held, and that's impressive. I like that. That shows
and
that
the buyers.
Our viewer said KBKMNL. I would love to know what that acronym stands for. Says our future tech is very promising, and that's why we have a big buyer base. So it's obvious that the buyer base is sticking around here. With a little bit of profits, but that's fine, whatever.
Do we have an extra link? Do you want to bring them on and just have them talk a little bit about it so we can understand?
Yeah, I can generally bring on any time, but if anyone from your team wants to or anyone wants to come on, but or
let's just schedule it. We actually reached out to Dr. Give me a second. I personally reached out to Dr. Martin Heisboek. Oh, forgive me, man. I'm sorry.
Whatever, Dr. Crypto.
Yeah, or Dr. I was calling him Dr. MH for right now until I can really say his name. If you guys, I reached out to him, let him know that we reached out to him. Love to have him come and just talk about his project, what he's doing, how he's doing it. Really interesting. Obviously, like, we don't have a ton of viewership. Like, obviously, if you look at what we're doing, but we have some pretty powerful people who come on. We have some major lawyers who've come on and talked about crypto, right? We've had Caitlin Long. We've had major we had
Coinbase's lawyer come on, and he was very famous in that he coined a famous phrase on our show. Said he went to the SEC to register Coinbase and he got rug pulled. That was really good.
Like, we've had some pretty decent people on our show, and and like substantial, like not like famous, but I'm talking like people who are doing real stuff in the world of crypto.
Right, we're not
And
doing crappy token projects and things like that. We're doing a serious show here. And usually it's an hour-long show during the week, a morning show or an evening show. We've been doing some, but today's Thanksgiving in the U.S. and everyone's on holiday, so we're just taking as much time as we can to talk about different projects that people come on. We've been talking about Kaz now for about 15, 20 minutes here and there, but today's the extended version of our show, the director's cut. But KBKMNL says the biggest wallet holders are exchanges, and the biggest non-exchange wallet only holds 1% of the supply. 1% still a lot, but someone from the beginning, way down there at the end, it's easy for them to acquire. But it looks like they're holding, so that's good. Like Pedro said, KBKMNL. I would love to know what that means. My phone just. But the wallet distribution is so important that it's not just top heavy for people at any moment just dump, especially when the market cap pumps and any one wallet could rug the project. That's terrible. But having a good distribution, like Pedro was showing us here with Kaz, that's very good. It's very good, and it inspires confidence. In fact, I remember one project a while ago that they didn't do a pre-sale and didn't start with a low liquidity. They just started with $1 million liquidity that they put in themselves, that they raised from an outside investments, not through crypto sales. So they started with $1 million liquidity. And so anyone that bought only bought very small amounts of it. There's no way to get 1%. That was a great strategy. Then I think they merged with someone else and ended up as part of the Ever something world. But thanks for that info, whomever you are and wherever you're coming from. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I appreciate, well, I should say we appreciate it a lot. We sit here and have a lot of fun and talk about these things. Oops, wrong button. This button. For those of you that are new and watching, Pedro and I do a show here called DYOR Live. Let's see if we can... actually bring a... Nope, I can't find it. Good Lord. This one? This one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. I'm looking... God damn it. I can't find the right button. Oh, hell. Anyway, I just wanted to put... I think I need to turn Pedro off here. Scene, desk cam... Nope. TV center off.
Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there,
Hello?
Pedro.
All right. Sorry, I actually put I put mute on mine, so that was my bad.
No, that's not that one. Hell, I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's all good. Well, my friend, it is time for me to go because my friend just hit me up and said, "Are you coming over to eat or what?" I'm like, oh, I can't believe 2 hours just flew by like that.
I know.
I really am. I'm like, holy crap. Like, dude, time's fun when we're just hanging out, man. Being honest. All honesty. South Korea to invite 100K citizens to test CBDC in 2024. Ooh, that's going to be a trip. See the coin Telegraph news that came out about
Thank
South
you very
Korea.
much. Great show, by the way. Thanks. We put a lot of effort into this.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We will obviously... It's time to go today. For all of you that paid attention to it, we really appreciate it. I was just this close to shutting down the show earlier when Pedro came on for the day because he was off this morning. But I'm glad we'll just leave it like that. But I'm glad we had a good show, good long show. Once again, our sponsors of the show, Camuso CPA, right down here on the link. There's a link in the body. If you've got a crypto issue with your taxes or just can't figure it out, Patrick Camuso at Camuso CPA will fix you right up. And of course, Audit Chain here, our channel sponsor. Audit Chain here is in the business of auditing the SEC filings for any company, and they have a blockchain solution to do that. Imagine that now when people say there's no use for crypto, that there is a blockchain solution to audit all the Wall Street filings of traditional TradFi companies. So that's amazing, and they just need a little bit of traction here to get going in their first customer base. But we're trying to help them out by spreading the word. So Pedro, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me.
We'll be we'll maybe if you're around, we'll do this again tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. I got the kids over for Thanksgiving, but if you want, we'll do this in the morning.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do 10. That'd be perfect.
All right, we'll do 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But for that, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Pedro Garcia and all of our guests today, well, we didn't have any guests today, on behalf of the crew here at DYOR Live, the crew is me. We had Striking Jr. on earlier. I guess he was a guest. But like I said, thanks to everyone for watching today. Once again, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world as the host of DYOR Live and DYOR Media Network. Thank you for having a great day. Have a great Thanksgiving. We will see you tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow, you'll always be a day away.